Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commentary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that point! Goal for Manchester City!
Takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it back! Welcome along to our second part of Super Sunday Live in the FA Cup. You've just heard me over the last couple of hours bringing you the commentary from St James's Park as Newcastle United were knocked out of the FA Cup 2-1 defeat to Brighton of Albion. We'll keep you bang up to date with the FA Cup job, which will be coming up straight after this game on this channel right now, where you're sitting on this coverage of the Manchester United game this afternoon. We'll keep you bang up to date. We'll get through in the FA Cup with Nicholas Jones who's standing by. Before we do that, we've got one more game to bring you from the FA Cup fifth round matches. It's Manchester United against Fulham. And let me bring you in your match commentator, Paul James, who can bring us the team changes.
Yes, thank you, Russ. Good afternoon, everybody. A packed Old Trafford as Manchester United nursing a heck of a lot of injuries. They only make two changes to their lineup, both of them enforced. Nusa Mazraoui steps in for Patrick Dorgan, who's suspended, and Christian Eriksen steps in for Alexandro Garnacho, who's one of the many wounded. For Fulham, also two changes. Anthony Robinson and Calvin Bassey step in, and Jorge Quensa and Issa Diop step out. But two of the strongest lineups I can think that both teams could possibly make. Back to you, Russ.
Thank you very much there, Paul. Just a quick one, Paul, with some of the team changes for Manchester United. I'm seeing the side now is some of the strong players, as we can see the team on the screen who are involved today, like of Eriksen, Xerxes involved this afternoon. What do you think we could see some of those players, if we play well today, get minutes in the Premier League matches coming up?
I mean, it's definitely possible, but I think this is a very understrength Manchester United team, not because they've been forced into it. Not because they've done it by choice, but because they have been forced into it with the liturgy of injuries. Bayinda, Collier, Diallo, Dorgu is suspended, Evans, Mainu, Martinez, Mount, Shaw. It's relentless for Manchester United, and they're going to be up against it today, I think.
Yes, I think I agree with you there, Paul, as well. We're going to hand over to you now, ready for the game as the players are getting ready to come out and out on the field actually right now. And then we're over to Paul James to bring you the first half action.
Well, welcome everybody to Old Trafford, FA Cup 5th round day, the second game that we're bringing you today. Let's jump into the starting lineups immediately, starting with Manchester United. Andre Onana in goal. Harry Maguire, Matthias de Ligt and Lenny Yoro are the back three. Diogo Dalla on left wing back, Christian Eriksen and Manuel Ugarte in the middle. Nusa Mazraoui on the right side on the wing back, and Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Xerxes operating behind Bruno Fernandes. For Fulham, well, they've got a relatively fresh squad, only two injuries, Reece Nelson and Kenny Tete. Emil Smith-Rowe is back on the bench. They line up as follows with Bert Leno in goal. Anthony Robinson, the captain, Calvin Bassey, Joachim Andersen and Timothy Castagna are the back four. Sasa Lukic and Sander Berg, the holding midfielders, with Alex Iwobi, Andres Pereira and Adama Traore behind Rodrigo Muniz, who's leading the line. For Manchester United, well, some of these substitutes you're not going to recognise. Substitute goalkeeper Hubert Garach, along with another substitute goalkeeper, 17-year-old William Murdoch. Alejandro Garnacho is fit enough only for the bench. Casemiro, Aiden Heaven, Victor Lindelof and Chidozie Obi, as Manchester United unable to field a full 9 substitutes. For Fulham's, Stephen Bender, Tom Keane, Jorge Quesea, Issa Diop, Raul Jimenez, Harrison Reed, Ryan Sessegnon, Emil Smith-Rowe and Willian make up the bench for Fulham. Our referee today is Stuart Atwell from Nuneaton in Warwickshire, and this game is underway with Manchester United attacking the Stretford end in this first half. That is the goal to our left. Manchester United in the red shirts, white shorts and black socks, familiar jerseys. Fulham also in there, familiar jerseys of white shirts, black shorts and white socks as we take a look at Christian Eriksen. And we see whether Manchester United can handle the mass of walking wounded right now as they try to put together a squad that they can barely put together to face this FA Cup 5th round match. I have to take my hat off to Ruben Amorim for not playing the kids in this game, because this is the best that he can put together. Here's Harry Maguire. Across to Lenny Yoro. Diogo Dalot now for Manchester United. Eriksen, quick 1-2 there, back to Dalot. Dalot, nice one-touch football here by Manchester United. Christian Eriksen to Lenny Yoro. Plays the ball forward there. He's chasing it is Rasmus Højlund, but Joachim Andersen puts the ball out of play for a throw into Manchester United. Midway inside the Fulham half of the field. I want to thank you very much for joining us. This match has got a lot to live up to from the earlier game, but we'll see what we can do for you. Here's Traore, drops the ball back to Andersen. That's a nice ball down this near side to Timothy Castagna. Back to Andersen, who clears the ball downfield. The header is won by Maguire. Eriksen tries to head the ball down, but that's picked up there in the midfield by Sasa Lukic. Across to Anthony Robinson. He gets the ball out wide to Traore, and Manuel Ugarte nips in and wins the ball back. Ugarte drops the ball back to Matthijs de Ligt. And it's back with Andre Onana now as Lenny Yoro plays the ball forward. Diogo Dalot plays the ball forward. It was a kind of a hospital pass, really. And it's picked up well by Ugarte, who's doing very well to keep possession. He's dispossessed by Andres Pereira, but Stuart Atwell has called a free kick. And we have media, radio, jingles and gaming in with us today. Good afternoon, Paul. Superb commentary, Ross, on the Newcastle and Brighton game. This is an old Premier League tie, FA Cup, so this is a tight game for Manchester United. I agree. They could find this very, very challenging indeed with the injuries that they have. And here is Harry Maguire, plays the ball forward to Christian Eriksen. Eriksen down the left-hand side to Diogo Dalot. He's trying to create space in front of him, whips the ball in, and it's knocked away that time. Good work, good defending there by Joachim Andersen. Throw-in taken quickly, it's with Lenny Yoro. Back to Dalot again. Dalot in front of Castagna. Dalot gets to the byline. Oh, that's a fine challenge by the Belgian international Timothy Castagna. Somehow the ball stays in play and Castagna wins it. Manages to find Adama Traore. Oh, Adama Traore almost shows too much of that to Højlund. And knocks the ball back there. Leno. With the Nations League coming up. Oh, the ball is given away here. Here's Xerxes. Drops the ball back to Rasmus Højlund, but it's given away. And now here's Pereira, plays the ball long and is looking for the chase of Rodrigo Muniz, but that is far too far away from the Brazilian. And it's picked up by Harry Maguire. And here is Maguire now. He just picks up the ball. He's got time and space on it, just puts his foot on the ball and drops it to Lenny Yoro. Yoro to Diogo Dalot. Oh, that's a good ball there to Joshua Xerxes. He's under pressure there from Sander Berg, former Burnley player. Goes back to the goalkeeper. And here's Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt plays the ball forward, looking for Nusa Mazraoui. Chasing this one is Rasmus Højlund, but cutting across well is the Nigerian Calvin Bassey. And he wins that ball back very, very well. Here's Joachim Andersen. Across to Timothy Castagna on the edge of the Fulham penalty area. Now then, here's Adama Traore, but he is dispossessed. And it goes out of play for a throw-in to Manchester United. Pacey start by both teams as we have semi-automated offsides in play. It seemed to work well in the last game. I actually rather hope we don't need it today. We'll just go through the officials for you. Stuart Atwell is the referee from Nuneaton, of course. Adrian Holmes and Simon Long are the assistants, with Darren Bond on fourth official duty. Thomas Bramall, Andrew Kitchen and Michael Salisbury are the VAR team. Here's Diogo Dalla. Dalla now down the left-hand side, cuts inside, tries to get the cross in. It's blocked there by Lukic. Away now, Briggs, Andres Pereira. Back to Adama Traore. He drops the ball back there to Anthony Robinson. Robinson's got Calvin Bassey alongside him. He decides to go across to Joachim Anderson. Anderson plays the ball forward, just getting in front there is Manuel Ugarte, and puts the ball out of play. It's going to be a throw-in to Fulham. We've had 5 minutes gone here. It's 100 miles an hour out there at the moment, but no goals. And here's Sanderberg for Fulham. Inside the centre circle, across to Adama Traore, who puts the ball back into his own half of the field. And it's picked up by Joachim Anderson. Ball forward for Sanderberg. Drops it back to Bassey. Adama Traore. Bassey again. Calvin Bassey been a fixture in this Fulham side this season. Of course, Fulham have never won the FA Cup. Got as far as the final in 76, I believe, or 75, where they lost to West Ham. Ball played forward by Timothy Castagna to Pereira. That's a good ball out to this out to this right-hand side. It's Traore switching from side to side. Traore swings the ball in, but it's far too close to Andre Onana in the Manchester United goal. JB is online again for this one. Russ did well last game. I'm sorry I had Newcastle and Man United on my predictions. That's why I was annoyed. You're a brave man picking Manchester United with this squad, JB. Here is Christian Eriksen. Just cuts back to the halfway line. Eriksen plays the ball out wide to Diogo Dalla and plays the ball forward looking for Joshua Zirkzee. But that ball is far away. And behind for a goal kick. Well, Manchester United coming off the back of a 3-2 victory over Ipswich, and Fulham coming off the back of a 2-1 victory at Molineux against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Choppy form for both these sides, really, especially Manchester United. It really has been a disastrous season for the Red Devils this season. Here's a Traore, he wins the ball. And here's Lukic now for Fulham. He's got options left and right. He drops it down to Timothy Castagna. Castagna to Traore now down the right-hand side. He cuts inside away from Manuel Ugarte. And the ball is dropped back there to Anderson. Lukic. Back to the halfway line to Anderson again. Into the centre circle there to Bassey. And Bassey drops it back to his goalkeeper Bert Leno, who, with the Nations League coming up, will be looking for some solid form to put himself in Julian Nagelsmann's mind for the forthcoming quarter-final against Italy for Germany. Ball played forward by Joachim Anderson. Pereira gives the ball away to Eriksen, who in turn delivers a poor pass, and it's intercepted by Calvin Bassey. And now here's Sanderberg over the halfway line for Fulham. And it's Pereira again now. Pereira, he tries to play the ball across. It's picked up by Muniz. Good ball to Traore. Right-hand side, corner of the penalty area now. Traore trying to get away from Delot. Cross coming into Pereira. Heads go up. Ugarte tries to head the ball away. Only as far as Calvin Bassey. He's in a very deep position right now. Picked up by Sanderberg. Cross here to Timothy Castagna. Back to Castagna again. He gives the ball to Joachim Anderson. Midway inside his own half of the field, Joachim Anderson. Drops the ball back to the goalkeeper, Bert Leno. And now here's Calvin Bassey. He's at walking pace at the moment. And drops the ball back to Joachim Anderson as Fulham slowing it down right now. Here's Castagna. Knocked on there by Sasa Lukic to Traore. Traore skips back into his own half of the field. Lukic gives the ball to Sanderberg, the Norwegian. inside the centre circle. Oh, that's a really good ball over on the far side there. And it's looking for it overlapping here is Anthony Robinson. Can he get the cross in? And it's plucked out of the air as Alex Iwobi sending the ball across there to Anthony Robinson. It's plucked out of the air though by Andre Onana from the cross. Took a bit of a deflection from Nusa Mazraoui. Onana, who's come under heavy criticism recently from Manchester United fans, just plucks that out of the air with confidence. A lot of them calling for him to be dropped, but I mean, who can you replace him with? Bayinda is actually injured at the moment as well. Here's Harry Maguire to Matthijs de Ligt. And it's picked up there by Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes drops the ball back to Matthijs de Ligt again. Harry Maguire, midway inside his own half of the field. Looking for options, gives the ball to Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt plays the ball forward, chasing this one down the left-hand side is Diogo Dalot. Superb pass. Dalot drops it back to Eriksen, swings the ball in. Oh, it's just over Xerxes' head. And that was good football by Manchester United. They've picked the ball up again. It's back to Fernandes on the edge of the area. Fernandes with a shot. Super save by Bert Leno. And he gets down. He's unable to gather the ball, but it bounces off the German's knee and goes behind for a corner to Manchester United. A promising start by the Red Devils here. Manuel Ugarte wins the ball back. It's good play by Manuel Ugarte. Back to Bruno Fernandes. Takes one touch and his shot. It's a good save by Bert Leno. Well, the corner is coming in from the right-hand side. Going up is De Ligt. It comes back to Ugarte again on the edge of the area. There's Eriksen. Back to Nusa Mazraoui. Ooh, that's a long ball by Ugarte forward. Heads going up for that one. And it's going to roll out of play, is it? Lenny Yoro trying to win that ball, but it's picked up there by Adama Traore and dropped back to Joachim Andersen. Calvin Bassey, edge of the area. That's a good ball to Sanderberg. 12 minutes gone here. Manchester United, really good start for them. And here's Timothy Castagne now. Into Lukic. Lukic just trying to skip away from Xerxes into the centre circle. Sends the ball across there to Calvin Bassey. And that's a good turn by Pereira though. And he goes down under the challenge. It's won back by Harry Maguire and played forward by Eriksen. Chasing this one is Rasmus Højlund. He does well to win the ball ahead of Joachim Andersen. Højlund picks up the ball and Eriksen now chasing forward. But he gives the ball away and Calvin Bassey just turns away from Christian Eriksen there. And the ball is given away though by Bassey. And Diogo Dalot now has the ball. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United forcing Fulham into mistakes here. Ugarte. Back to Yoro. Yoro, he's got time and space. He goes down the left-hand side to Diogo Dalot. Dalot overlapping here is Eriksen. Eriksen swings the ball in. And can he get on the end of that? Oh, it was Rasmus Højlund who got on the end of that, but he puts it wide. Oh, my goodness me. The cross came in. And you might expect the Danish international to do a little better here. He gets ahead of Calvin Bassey. He's got to be hitting the target there. That is the best chance of the game so far with 14 minutes gone. It's Manchester United 0, Fulham 0. Rasmus Højlund coming very close there. And here's Timothy Castagne from the goal kick. Pereira wins the ball. Adama Traore tries to hook the ball into the Manchester United half. It's picked up by Maguire, who launches the ball forward. Xerxes tries to bring the ball under control. Eventually he succeeds and gives it to Eriksen. But nipping in there was Castagne to win the ball back. And now Anthony Robinson and Fulham can come forward with Iwobi. Alex Iwobi has been quiet in this first half and he runs the ball out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United over on their right-hand side. And Nusa Mazraoui is going to take this one. 15 minutes gone. at Old Trafford. It is Manchester United 0, Fulham 0. Its throwing was taken quickly and it's launched forward, and here is Rasmus Højlund again. He's dealt with between Bassey and Anderson, and Bassey has the ball now. He launches it forward. Pereira flicks the ball on, and here goes Alex Iwobi now, but it's a good challenge by Nusa Mesraoui, wins that duel and flicks the ball across there. And now the coming forward are Manchester United with Joshua Zirkzee. And into, oh, that's a late challenge by Bruno Fernandes, and that's going to be a free kick. Bruno Fernandes is saying no, but that's a free kick for me. JB says, PJ, you are much part of Sundays as bullseye and roast beef. Thanks, JB. Yeah, Sundays are the best for me for doing the afternoon games. I like doing them on a Sunday. It reminds me of my boyhood days when I used to sit down and watch the match. Sunday isn't Sunday without football, and you're right, it's not the same without bullseye either. Like keeping up appearances on a Sunday evening too, but that's gone as well now. Here is Sasa Lukic, drops the ball back into his own half of the field, and it's with Joachim Andersen to Calvin Bassey. Forward to Alex Iwobi. Iwobi just steps back and drops the ball back to Calvin Bassey. And that's a long ball by Joachim Andersen. Chasing this one is Adama Traore, but it's really well read by Diogo Dalla. And the ball is played forward now to Rasmus Højlund, and he's got Joachim Andersen around him, but the ball will just roll out of play, and that'll be okay for Rasmus Højlund. It's going to be a throw into Manchester United, almost level with the Fulham penalty area down the left-hand side. Diogo Dalla is going to take this one. And he's just taking his time here. Well, Manchester United fans, Ruben Amorim's got to be impressed with Manchester United's start. They've definitely been the better team in this early exchange. Here's Christian Eriksen, swings the ball in. Oh, and good palm away there by Bert Leno. A save you'd expect him to make, but Manchester United keep possession. And it's picked up by Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt drops the ball back to Bruno Fernandes. He just again drops the ball back to Harry Maguire. Manchester United just starting from the back to go forward. And that's a challenge on Joshua Zirkzee by Alex Iwobi. And that is fantastic play. Actually, that was Calvin Bassey. He gives the ball to Alex Iwobi. And Iwobi is challenged immediately by Nusa Mesraoui, who is watching the former Arsenal player there. It's going to be a free kick to Manchester United, as Fulham will be looking to bring Alex Iwobi into the game whenever he can. He has a pretty good scoring record against Manchester United, as Marco Silva hoping he can take Fulham to the next level, the 6th round of the FA Cup. Incidentally, we will have the draw at the end of this game. Once this game is finished, we will have the 6th round draw. It'll be brought to you by Nicholas Jones, who's brought all the FA Cup draws to you this season. And it's across here to Matthijs de Ligt. His long ball finds Diogo Dalla. Diogo Dalla unable to control that. It bounces off him and goes out of play. We've had 19 minutes gone at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United 0, Fulham 0. And Timothy Castagne has got the throw on level with his own penalty area down his right-hand side. As it's dropped down there and cleared away by Anderson. He just puts his foot right through it. The header is won by Lenny Yoro. He heads the ball out of play, and it's going to be a throw into Fulham, which Timothy Castagne will take. It's midway inside Fulham's half of the field. He's just taking his time here at the moment. He's going to go long over the halfway line to Pereira. Pereira beautifully flicks it onto Lukic. Lukic looking for the ball to Iwobi, but it's a really disappointing ball by the Serbian, and it's just dropped back to the goalkeeper by Mesraoui. He launches the ball downfield, and that's won by Joachim Andersen ahead of Rasmus Højlund. There's the two countrymen lock horns there. And here's Sander Berg into the middle of the field to Sasa Lukic, who is clattered into by Bruno Fernandes, and he's helped up by the referee, but it's going to be a free kick, and I don't know if he's actually given it on the part of Manchester United. Coming together are two players there. And, well, Manchester United desperately needing to win this game. I feel the FA Cup is their best chance this year. But with so many injuries, it's such a tough ask of this squad. And Harry Maguire now will take the free kick for Manchester United. Maguire is going to go long. He leaves it for Bruno Fernandes, and Fernandes just chips it up and lifts the ball forward here to Mazraoui. Mazraoui tries to play the ball forward, but what a disappointing pass that was. And trying to break away is Andres Pereira, who looks pretty upset with that. It looks like he was interfered with there, but the referee says play on. Here's Joshua Zirkzee for Manchester United. Diogo Dalot down the left-hand side, cuts inside into the penalty area. Can he get the cross in, the Portuguese international? He does, but it's over the crossbar and behind for a goal kick. As Manchester United continue to build up play. Best chance really falling for Rasmus Højlund in this game so far. Fulham not really creating much at the moment. Calvin Bassey takes the goal kick and just drops it back to Bert Leno. He goes short to Joachim Andersen. Long ball forward to Andres Pereira. Oh, that's Andres Pereira trying to get the ball over to Anthony Robinson. I didn't think there was much wrong with the pass. Robinson didn't seem to be able to bring that ball under control. And it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United down their right-hand side, midway inside the Fulham half of the field. And now it's picked up by Zirkzee, gets the ball back to Mazraoui. Zirkzee gets it back, but only succeeds in finding Calvin Bassey. Poor giveaway that time by Joshua Zirkzee. Picked up by Lukic on the edge of his own penalty area. Bassey plays the ball forward. Oh, nipping in ahead of Iwobi there was Matthijs de Ligt, and Joshua Zirkzee chasing that one down as well. But it goes behind for a goal kick. But just had a bit too much power on the pass from Matthijs de Ligt. 22 minutes gone at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United 0, Fulham 0. As once again, Calvin Bassey is just going to take a short goal kick to the goalkeeper, and I'll never understand why teams do this. It's now Joachim Andersen who launches the ball over the halfway line. Winning the header well there is Diogo Dalot. Pereira trying to get in there as well. Hooked on by Christian Eriksen, but it's won in the midfield by Calvin Bassey, who goes down under the challenge of Joshua Zirkzee, and the referee gives Fulham the free kick. It's taken quickly over the halfway line to Pereira, across to Alex Iwobi. Iwobi lays the ball forward to Anthony Robinson, left-hand side. Robinson's got Mazraoui in front of him. He checks back, gives the ball to Iwobi. Can Iwobi get the cross in? Oh, that's a good ball, but Andre Onana comes out and plucks that out of the air. Very calm by the Cameroon international, Andre Onana. And he is just going to take his time now before launching this ball downfield. Or is he going to go short? He's got some options. He's also got Adama Traore, Muniz, and Andres Pereira lurking with intent as well. He finally releases it to Lenny Yoro, who gives the ball back to him, and this time left-footed, puts his foot through it. Onana. It's not the best clearance, and it's headed back into the Manchester United half there by Lukic. Adama Traore is in an offside position, and it's going to be a free kick. It might have even been for the high boot by Adama Traore as well on Diogo Dalot. It's a free kick to Manchester United anyway. And taking this one is Bruno Fernandes. He lifts the ball over onto Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt, oh, it's a poor ball by De Ligt. It's given to Pereira. Pereira goes down under the challenge, and that'll be the first yellow card. Manuel Ugarte goes into the book, makes no attempt to win the ball there. And Ugarte picks up the first yellow card of this FA Cup 5th round tie. And it was a poor challenge. It was a professional foul. No attempt to win the ball, and it's going to be a free kick, yellow card. Dangerous position for Fulham. A few yards outside the penalty area to the left of the D. It's about 20 yards out, and to the left of the D. Got players in this position that can take it. Pereira, of course. Lukic is also there. Is Pereira going to move away? Also, Manchester United now forming a wall. Pereira moves away from the free kick. And it's going to be Lukic standing over it. And it's an opportunity here if he can deliver the right sort of free kick. Sasa Lukic gets a shot away, but it's right into the wall, but it bounces back to Anthony Robinson. Robinson with a shot, but that is well wide, and not well wide and very high and not so handsome. Marco Silva not impressed with that. 26 minutes gone at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Fulham 0. As Diogo Dalla, just nips away there from Lukic. Still going forward is Diogo Dalla. Good play by him. And he's able to find Rasmus Højlund. He does a back heel. He was looking for Christian Eriksen. He gave the ball away, but it's won back by Bruno Fernandes. Storming forward now, Fernandes to Xerxes. Xerxes' pass was really poor. Breaks down for Manchester United, and here's Adama Traore, who in turn gives the ball away to Fernandes, and Adama fouls Bruno Fernandes. Not sure what he's protesting about. It was a very late challenge. Looks like, is he going to get a yellow card as well? It was a late challenge by Adama Traore on Bruno Fernandes. In fairness to Fernandes, he didn't make anything of it. He jumped right up. Andres Pereira there just looks like he has received the yellow card. Must have been something that he said, but that's not a yellow card that Pereira would have wanted to have taken at this stage. Game still 27 minutes old, knowing how far this game could actually go. Christian Eriksen just trying to organise the Manchester United front line. It's midway inside the Fulham half, very central. Launched forward by Eriksen. And the heads go up looking for Harry Maguire, but he's committed the foul there as Maguire, and it's going to be a free kick. Andreas Pereira is still having words with Stuart Atwell. Perhaps he ought to keep his mouth shut now. He doesn't want to talk himself into a second yellow card. We've already seen red card dramas today in the earlier game. Anthony Gordon sent off for a silly reaction. Tyreek Lamptey for a second bookable offence. And I think both sides will want to make sure that Stuart Atwell keeps his cards in his pocket as much as possible. Bassi, Robinson lifts the ball forward. That's a really smart ball there to Pereira. Pereira lays it off to Iwobi. Iwobi just trying to skip inside two Manchester United players, but it looks like the referee has stopped play there. Looks like it might have run that ball out of play, and it's a throw into Manchester United. At half-time, Russ will be on to update you with all the scores from the FA Cup, and then we'll take a short break and be back for the second half of this double header that we have for you for the commentary hub today. FA Cup double header. Earlier on, Brighton winning by 2-1 at St James's Park. Superb performance by the Seagulls. And here's Robinson, gives the ball there to Castagna. And he gives the ball back to Lukic. Forward there to Adama Traore, turning away from Fernandes. Forward to Muniz. Rodrigo Munez's ball is just away from Timothy Castagna, and it rolls out of play for a throw-in. And it's taken quickly, and Christian Eriksen has the ball now. Long ball over on the far side. Looking for Nusa Mazraoui. It goes out of play, away from Nusa Mazraoui, off the head of Anthony Robinson, and it's going to be a throw into Manchester United. As the ball is played back to Harry Maguire by Matthijs de Ligt, and in turn back to Andre Onana. Here's Lenny Yoro. Across there to Matthijs de Ligt. We've had 30 minutes here at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United 0, Fulham 0. And Ugarte drops the ball back to de Ligt and to Harry Maguire. At the moment, both sides really not creating a great deal. A lot of giving away of the ball. It's now played forward, looking for Rasmus Højlund, but defending that very well was Calvin Bassey, who clatters in to Nusa Mazraoui. And it's going to be a free kick to Fulham, as the official on the far side flagging for that. Stuart Atwell coming over just to find out what's going on. Calvin Bassey still down, just getting to his feet. So see the ball looking for Rasmus Højlund. He's had the best chance of the game so far. Well read by Calvin Bassey. And, well, then there was a collision between Bassey and Mazraoui. It's a free kick anyway to Fulham, which Calvin Bassey will take. It's about a yard in from the touchline, down the Fulham left. The ball is played forward, and it's a comfortably won header by Bruno Fernandes. But here's Pereira now, and the ball is down this right-hand side to Traore. Can Traore get the cross in? Oh, it's a disappointing one from Traore. And now Manchester United can break with Fernandes, but he gives the ball away. And here's Lukic now to Castagna. Timothy Castagna just drops the ball back there to Pereira and across to Sasa Lukic. Lukic across to Sanderberg. Sanderberg has got options over on the far side with Alex Iwobi. Iwobi makes his way towards the middle. He's midway inside the Manchester United half. He goes down the right-hand side to Adama again. Let's see if Adama Traore can get the cross in this time. Maybe a better effort. Back to Castagna, swings across in. Oh, Andre Onana dropped it just for a moment. And he almost dropped it right in front of Andreas Pereira. And already the Manchester United goalkeeper, who's come under so much criticism recently, well, he nearly landed himself in hot water again there. He was confused as to whether or not he wanted to chest it or catch it, I think. Either way, no harm for Manchester United. He has a word with Andreas Pereira in passing. Here's Matthijs de Ligt. Mazraoui. Ugarte. Back to Matthijs de Ligt, to the goalkeeper. Onana clears it downfield. Pereira, though, picks up the ball, but he's dispossessed well. But that is a free kick, according to referee Stuart Atwell. Fulham just edging possession at the moment with 52% to 48% in favour of the visitors. They haven't really done a great deal with it so far. Once again, the final ball really in the box for Fulham. Very much the same for Manchester United. Lots of turnover in this first half so far. As it's going to be a free kick. As Muniz just preparing himself. Joachim Andersen is up there as well. It's midway inside the Manchester United half. Sasa Lukic is over this one. Let's see what options he has available. He plays it short to Pereira. Pereira lifts the ball up, looking for Iwobi, and it just escapes everybody's head, but it does come off a Manchester United player. Nusa Mazraoui, I think it came off last, and it's going to be a corner to Fulham. Their first one of the game on the 35th minute. Just in front of the Manchester United fans behind that goal. And just going to see who's going over to take it. It's Andreas Pereira who's going to swing this one in. 0-0 with 10 minutes to go till half-time. Swings it in, does Pereira, and Andre Onana comes up and plucks that one out of the air with ease. Onana just releases the ball short to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes to Dalot. Back to Yoro. Lenny Yoro holds the ball up. And forward to Christian Eriksen, who drops the ball back to Lenny Yoro. Oh, Andre Onana just takes the ball under control and clears it downfield, left-footed. Picked up by Joshua Zirkzee, but almost dispossessed that time at Manchester United. Keep possession. Diogo Dalot lifts the ball forward. And here's Manuel Ugarte inside the centre circle, the Uruguayan. Manuel Ugarte, it's a beautiful ball out to this left-hand side to Diogo Dalot. Dalot drops the ball back to Lenny Yoro. Dalot forward there to Ugarte again, who lays it off to Christian Eriksen, and he plays the ball back to Ugarte. It bounces off his chest and goes out of play for a throw-in to Fulham. As Manchester United fans seem to have lost the atmosphere a little bit inside Old Trafford. Lots of worried Manchester United fans out there at the moment, especially with the way that their team has been performing. It's been their worst performance in any football league for as long as I can remember. Here is Diogo Dalot to take the throw-in. And he goes long looking for Zirkzee. Zirkzee chests it down, but nipping in there is Timothy Castagne. Headed on by Pereira. And Sasa Lukic manages to find Alex Iwobi. He drops off to Sander Berg. Sander Berg drops it back to Anthony Robinson. Anderson. Bassi. And Anderson inside, midway inside his own half. A super long ball looking for Adama Traore. And can the speedy Spaniard catch it? Yes, he can. And Adama Traore, can he get the cross in? Oh, it's a poor ball by Adama Traore straight to Lenny Yoro. But it's given away by Yoro as well. And the cross coming in by Pereira, but it's headed out by De Ligt as far as Robinson. Robinson then gives the ball away, and Lenny Yoro gets a second bite at the cherry to clear it. But it's only picked up by Timothy Castagne. Back to Traore. And here's Sasa Lukic into the middle there to Bassi. Across to Anthony Robinson. And out wide onto the left-hand side to Alex Iwobi. Iwobi swings that cross in, and there's a header by... Oh, I think that is Lukic over the crossbar. It was indeed. It was Sasa Lukic. Just got his head on the end of that. It was a good ball in by Alex Iwobi. The best bit of football that Fulham have played in the half. And that was certainly their best chance. Lukic, well, he had space, didn't he? There was nobody within 3 or 4 yards of him. But he was only able to divert that ball behind. And Marco Silva knows that was a chance. And so does Sasa Lukic with his head in the ground. Well, both sides have had one good chance in this first half. Zirkzee drops the ball back to Bruno Fernandes. Went forward looking for Dalot, but it's cleared away by Anderson. Pereira now just tries to get the ball out wide, but he's dispossessed by Bruno Fernandes. That's a good dummy by Nusam Mazraoui to De Ligt. De Ligt tries to get the cross in, but that was a fine block by Anthony Robinson. But it does go behind for a second Manchester United corner. And going over to take it is Bruno Fernandes down that right-hand side. We have got 6 minutes to go until the half-time break. It's Manchester United 0, Fulham 0 at Old Trafford. And the ball is going to be outswung. Bruno Fernandes to take it. Rasmus Højlund there in the box along with Matthijs de Ligt. It's swung in, headed out there by Muniz. Back to Ugarte with a shot. It takes a deflection and it goes behind. It came off Timothy Castagne. The shot from Manuel Ugarte. And Manchester United are going to have another corner here, this time from the left-hand side. Well, so he's going to go over there to take it. It's Bruno Fernandes again from the left-hand side this time. That ball is not inside the quadrant or even on the line or even touching it. But he's going to get away with it. The cross coming in from Bruno Fernandes. Ooh, just under Leno's crossbar, punched away by Bert Leno. Ugarte swings the ball back in. Anderson hacks the ball away. And just trying to bring the ball under control is Ugarte and skip away from Alex Iwobi. That's good work by Manuel Ugarte under the pressure of Alex Iwobi. And it's picked up by Lenny Yoro inside the centre circle. And now down this left-hand side to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes swings across in. Oh, and it takes a header and behind for another corner. And Calvin Bassey had to be careful there. He was close to diverting that ball into his own goal. A really good cross here by Bruno Fernandes. And, well, it left Bert Leno rooted to the spot. It must have actually come off... Joshua Zirkzee actually, because they've given a goal kick. Personally, I thought that came off Bassey, but it's a goal kick anyway. And here's Anderson. Anderson launches the ball forward, and it's out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United. Well, these two teams have met each other several times in the FA Cup, but Manchester United have are undefeated against Fulham in the FA Cup, so this could be an opportunity for Fulham to break that record today. As here's Fernandes, lifts the ball forward. Ugarte once again under pressure there from Iwobi, helped along by Nusa Mesraoui, launches the ball into the penalty area. It's brought down by Castagna under pressure from Rasmus Højlund, but the ball played forward now, and it's Pereira on the break for Fulham down the right hand side. Can he get the cross in, Pereira? That's a good block by Lenny Yoro. Very solid work there by the French international, and going over to challenge him is Sasa Lukic, and there's a lot of pushing there on the far side. Lenny Yoro goes down. He's just getting onto his feet. Pereira, well, looking for that opportunity to get the cross in, wasn't there. It's a throw into Fulham, it's taken quickly. And here's Anthony Robinson. Robinson across to Alex Iwobi again. And here's Sander Berg. Berg, cross there to Timothy Castagna. A goal now for Fulham just before half time. That would be a huge goal for them. Here's Lukic. To Anderson, to Bassey. Iwobi. Berg. Anderson again, inside the centre circle. Across to Lukic. Lukic to Berg again, back with Lukic. Lukic lifts the ball forward. Bassey coming into the challenge, clatters into the back of Rasmus Højlund. Stuart Atwell says play on. And it's back with Anderson right now, as we have got about 2 minutes left in the half. Manchester United 0, Fulham 0. And that's a good... Oh, that was a ball by Pereira looking for Anthony Robinson. Anthony Robinson had checked inside. Pereira didn't see that. It goes out of play for a throw-in to Manchester United. As we take a look at that again. Just checked inside there, did Anthony Robinson. Pereira didn't see that or recognise that. And it's a throw-in to Manchester United, level with their own penalty area on the right-hand side. It's going to be taken here by Nusa Mesraoui. Plays the ball forward, looking for Joshua Zirkzee, but it's won back by Lukic. And in this first half, there's been so much giving of the ball away by both sides. I think both managers will be touching on that at half-time. Here's Castagna, long ball forward, looking for Muniz. It's dealt comfortably with by Harry Maguire. And here's Lukic now for Fulham. Drop back to Castagna, to Lukic. And now here's Sander Berg. Can he get the cross in? No, he delivers it to Traore instead. And now then, here's Castagna. Tries to get the cross in, but it's a good block by Bruno Fernandes. And it's going to be a second corner for Fulham. As we're approaching stoppage time at the end of this first half. It'll be interesting to see how much is being played. There's been virtually no stoppages I suspect it won't be anything more than maybe 1 or 2 minutes maximum. And corner will be taken on the right-hand side by Andreas Pereira. There is in fact 1 minute stoppage time at the end of this first half, as Pereira is going to take this one. He's going to outswing this one. Header goes up by Maguire. Winning it is Lukic, only as far as Robinson, who hooks the ball up in the air. Pereira trying to bring this ball under control. He breaks away. Castagna is not able to make it. He watches the ball go wide. It's actually a corner given to Fulham, and it's going to be taken by Andreas Pereira again, as Fulham looking to get an early advantage here. If they get the goal before half time, boy, that will set things up for the second half. Andreas Pereira now is going to go and outswing this one. Pereira swings it in. There's a header on. Bassey with the header! Oh, it's in! And Fulham have scored in the injury time at the end of the first half, and it's Calvin Bassey with the goal. Well, what about that? It was a free header for Calvin Bassey, and he celebrates the goal to give Fulham the lead at Old Trafford. Oh, it was poor defending by Manchester United, it has to be said. There's an inquest into the Manchester United defence right there, but Nigerian Calvin Bassey comes back from injury with the header there. The corner by Andreas Pereira. It was headed on by Rodrigo Muniz, and it just went straight through that wall of Manchester United defenders, and Calvin Bassey gets in ahead of Nusa Mazraoui, and that is really shocking defending by Manchester United. Well, Andre Onana, no chance with that. They can't really blame him for that, although I'm sure some of them will find a way. Calvin Bassey with the header there, though. And Fulham take the 1-goal lead with some pretty poor defending there from the Red Devils, and that really has been basically that typifies their season. And that's it. The referee blows for half time. The goal in injury time at the end of this first half by Calvin Bassey is a difference. Rasmus Højlund had a chance earlier on with a shot that he was not able to keep down. But at half-time at Old Trafford in this FA Cup 5th round tie, as the Manchester United fans shaking their head, it's Manchester United 0, Fulham 1. Back to you, Ross.
Thank you very much there, Paul. And what a first half we've had at Old Trafford, and Fulham take a step closer to the next round of at this moment in time, as they have a 1-goal lead at the break. We're just going to take a quick look at the other scores from the matches that's happened thus far in the FA Cup, this 5th round action so far, and I can bring you the scores from the matches thus far in the FA Cup for you. I'll have a look at some other scores that's taking the games this in the FA Cup this afternoon as well, and we'll give you all the scores from the FA Cup matches thus far then, shall we? So starting off on Friday evening, it was Aston Villa 2, Cardiff City 0. It was on Saturday, it was Crystal Palace 3, Millwall 1, Preston 3, Burnley 0. Bournemouth and Wolves drew 1 apiece, with Bournemouth winning 5-4 on penalties in that game yesterday afternoon in the FA Cup. Then yesterday evening we saw the FA Cup shockers in action, with Liverpool knocked down Liverpool in the previous round. They went to the Etihad against Manchester City, lost 3-1 at the Etihad yesterday. Maxi up on the scoring before O'Reilly scored a brace, and Kevin De Bruyne also on target for the citizens in that game. And then today, you've already heard that there is the Newcastle versus Brighton game. Newcastle 1, Brighton 2. Myself, Russ Fennan, guided you through the action on that game this afternoon. And now We've got the brilliant and talented Paul James doing the commentary on this game this afternoon, and he's just described a wonderful header by Calvin Bassey, which sent Fulham fans into raptures on the stroke of half time. The Nigerian with the goal there, and Calvin Bassey, not many people would have predicted him for the first goal scoring match in the game this season. In the league, he's only scored one goal this season, Calvin Bassey. In the domestic cups, he didn't score in any of the EFL Cup. That's his first goal in the FA Cup this season for Fulham. So I can tell you that's his second goal of the season across all competitions for Fulham in the FA Cup. And he's yet to score for Nigeria in their World Cup qualifiers. That they've played 4 matches this far, yet to score in any of those 4. Calvin Bassey, as his goal is the difference at half time for Manchester United to be trailing by a 1-0 against Fulham. Some other matches taking place there. We've had some Women's Super League action. Manchester United, the women's side, are doing better than the men's side at the moment. Manchester United women not beat Leicester by 2-0 in the WSL this lunchtime. Also, this afternoon he finished Aston Villa 0, Everton 2, Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1, Tottenham 1, Man City 2. Brighton and Chelsea shared out a 2-2 draw in that game this afternoon. That kicked off at 3 o'clock with Lauren James getting the equalising goal at the Broadfield Stadium this afternoon for Brighton in the Brighton-Chelsea game. And at 5:30, so in around about 5 minutes or so, Arsenal women take on West Ham this evening. In the Women's Championship, Sheffield United 0, Portsmouth 2, Blackburn 0, Birmingham 2, Charlton 1, London City Lionesses 1, Newcastle 3, Bristol City 2, Sunderland 2, Durham 0 in the Women's Championship. French League O, to tell you about Lyon beat Brest by 2-1 earlier. Angers beat Toulouse is currently 0-0 on 51 minutes. Auxerre v Strasbourg is 1-0 Strasbourg on 51 minutes. Montpellier trailed by a goal against Rennes on 47 minutes. Marseille against Nantes is a 7:45 p.m. kickoff this evening. UK time, that is. In the German Bundesliga, Union Berlin 0, Ostal Kiel 1 is a full-time score. Augsburg 0, Freiburg 0 is the score at currently at half-time, should I say. Almost at full-time there. It's only half-time in that second Bundesliga game. In the Italian Serie A, Monza 0, Torino 2, Bologna 2, Cagliari 1, Genoa 1, Empoli 1, 24 minutes on the clock. Roma 0, Como 0. AC Milan take on Lazio at 7:45 UK time this evening. In the Scottish Premiership, Hibernian 2, Arts 1 in that game this afternoon. In the Edinburgh Derby, Hibernian coming out on top against Arts. Boyle up on the score before Gwent equalised. Arts on a goal disallowed for offside. For Ardrail won it for Hibernian on 74 minutes then. Aberdeen and Dundee United shared out a 4-goal game, 2-2 the scoreline there. In La Liga, Barcelona have beaten Real Sociedad by 4-0. Leganés have beaten Getafe by a 1-0. Mallorca against Alaves is at 5:30 UK time, with Osasuna taking on Valencia at 8 o'clock this evening. In the MLS, just some key games in the MLS to tell you about. New York Red Bulls 2-0 winners over Nashville. Orlando City 4-2 winners over Toronto FC. As well, LAFC 1-0 winners over New York City. As well, in the MLS, which was played early hours of this morning. A result from Saturday evening UK time in the MLS. Charlotte FC beat Atlanta United by 2-0. Former Crystal Palace man Wilfred Zaha on target for man Emmanuel Latte-La involved for Atlanta United, as 2 in that game was from a Newcastle man, Miguel Almiron. Down from Aston Villa goalkeeper Brad Guzon, also involved. He also had a spell at Middlesbrough and also did Brad Guzon there as well. So there's just some of the other scores as things stand right now, as we are bringing you some brilliant coverage this afternoon in the FA Cup. Later we'll have the FA Cup 5th round quarter-final draw later on this evening as well. Just to update for you, if you're interested in your youth football, just to tell you that Leeds United duo Jacob Howard and Oliver Boast were involved in England under-16s game this afternoon. Oliver Boast on target as well in that game for Leeds United, for the England under-16s, as they ran out comfortable winners 7-3 against Denmark this afternoon for the Young Lions in that game there as well. Let's speak before we bring the second half to you very, very shortly. Let's bring in your match commentator Paul, James, and Paul. Fulham have defended really, really well and deservedly, in my opinion, Paul, took the lead on the stroke of half-time through Calvin Bassey. Manchester United, in my opinion, have offered next to little in that first half.
Well, I think both sides have offered next to little in the first half, Ross. I think Manchester United had a lot of possession. They started very, very well. They created an early chance with Rasmus Højlund, but they were not able to take it. But I think both sides have created very little. There's been a lot of giving the ball away in the first half, a lot of turnover. It was a brilliant corner when the header on by Muniz, and then, of course, Bassey diverting it in with the header. Really poor defending from Manchester United. And for that reason, when you deserve to concede when you defend like that. I'm sorry if there's any Manchester United fans listening. I don't hate you, I promise. But when you defend like that, you deserve to be punished.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely deserve to be punished. Man United have not really offered anything in the attacking thirds as well, Paul. This afternoon, Højlund and Xerxes yet to really get into the game, and as you mentioned, very, very poor defensively as well. And we're just touching on the goal again for Fulham. Very, very weak. How easy was it for Calvin Bassey to just wander into that position to head home after the flick on the near post, Paul? It was just so easy. No one even saw where he was, and he just let him open up and just let him pick his spot brilliantly.
Well, there was two factors with this goal. The corner came in. Well, there's three factors. The corner comes in. Nobody picks up Muniz with the first header. The block of Manchester United players in front of that make no attempt to block that header from Muniz. That's the second problem. And the third problem is nobody picks up Calvin Bassey. There's nobody. Nusa Mazraoui has to look at himself here. This is where it went wrong for Nusa Mazraoui. He just allows Calvin Bassey to come in. He's ball watching, is Nusa Mazraoui. He's ball watching. And Manchester United pay the price. And those are the three issues with that goal.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. I'm just watching the goal again, and you can see how easy it is, because as soon as the first header is won by Rodrigo Muniz, all Manchester United players are just turning and looking at Mazraoui, thinking he's going to win this next header and clear the ball away. And then they notice Calvin Bassey coming in, and Bassey, we know he's physical and he's strong in the air, but he did really, really well not to foul his man, just get in front of him and made sure he got the header there first. But you can see a lot of Manchester United players who just stood ball watching after the initial header from Rodrigo Muniz, which is why it was so easy for Bassey to get in beyond Mazraoui, in front of Mazraoui, and score for Fulham this afternoon.
Yeah, it was too easy. That's the fact that they've got to look at, and it's very atypical of Manchester United's season. Defensively, I say that's very typical of Manchester United's season. It's the defensive errors over and over and over and over again. I've covered Manchester United quite a bit this season. There's been some pretty poor displays defensively. I know Manchester United fans will put the blame on Andre Onana, and for some, Andre Onana has definitely been responsible for that. And I think as a goalkeeper, I don't think he's the right man to be in the Manchester United goal. But he's not at fault here, I don't think. I think defensively, the issues should have been dealt with. You might argue that Onana maybe should have come and claimed the ball. That I'm sure that'll be asked later on. But you could say that that's a fourth problem with the goal, but it shouldn't even have got to that position, really.
No, you're right, Paul. It should never have got to there. They've got experienced defenders there for Manchester United. Mazarawi, we know about him from what we've seen this season. Yoro has done well this season and done well in certain games building up to this game, of building up to playing for Manchester United. Maguire, we know all about him. Matesta, we know all about him. Gallo, we know all about him. They've got good players there, Paul, in the back line, and none of them took advantage of that situation which led to the goal, and can understand potentially why Ruben Amorim would be very, very annoyed going into the half-time break speaking to his players.
Yeah, I think his entire team talk has now changed, hasn't it? His entire team talk has now changed. He's going in at half-time thinking they're going in at 0-0. Now he has to rethink his entire team chat, because now he's going in 1-0, because basically almost the last touch of the first half, they score.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. Well, the teams are ready to getting back out onto the field to play for the second half. Fulham are in the tunnel right now. So without further ado, let me hand you back over to your match commentator for that second half. He's back over to Paul James, who will guide us through the second half action with great commentary, as always.
Thank you, Ross, and welcome back for the start of the second half. Some of the players just not out just yet. But given Manchester United's performance in the first half, it'd be very interesting to see how they respond in the second half. As the Fulham players are now out there now, Calvin Bassey warming up. It doesn't look like there's been any additional changes. I'm not sure who Manchester United will bring on, if they are going to bring anybody on. They can't even put a full 9 quota of the substitutes bench together. 2 of them are goalkeepers, one of them only 17 years old. The only other option really is Garnacho, Casemiro, Aidan Heaven, Victor Lindelof and Chidozie Obai. And that's all they have. So let's run through the lineups anyway, just as we're about to get the second half. Manchester United attacking the goal to our right will kick us off in the second half. The lineups are Andre Onana in goal, Harry Maguire, Matthijs de Ligt, Lenny Yoro, Diogo Dalla, Christian Eriksen, Manuel Ugarte, Nusa Mazraoui, Rasmus Højlund, Joshua Zirkzee and Bruno Fernandes. For Fulham, Bernd Leno, Andre Robinson, Calvin Bassey, Joachim Andersen, Timothy Castagna, Sasa Lukic, Sander Berg, Alex Iwobi, Andreas Pereira, Adama Traore and Rodrigo Muniz. As I want to thank you so much for joining us for this double header today. For those of you that have been here since the beginning of the first game, you've been treated to a fantastic first game. I have to be honest, the second game's not quite lived up to it, but we may see a change in that now with Fulham leading by 1-0. Cleared away by Pereira. Muniz brings the ball down really well there. He's looking for Adama Traore on the right-hand side. That's a really good pass. Just drops the ball back into his own half of the field. Here's Anderson. Good ball across to Calvin Bassey. Bassey there to Sander Berg. Sander Berg chooses to go all the way back to Leno. And Bassey again, the goal scorer. And that's a good ball forward by Anthony Robinson. It might just be a bit short, but it's won well by Alex Iwobi. And here's Sander Berg now to Traore. Down the right-hand side, Fulham coming forward. And it's at the corner of the penalty area. Bit of change of pace by Traore. Swings across in. But it looks like that's come off Diogo Dalla. And it's going to be another corner as Adama Traore has gone down clutching his knee. Looks like he might have Yes, looks like he took something there off that challenge from Diogo Dalot. He's holding his right knee there, and that's not good news for Fulham. But it's going to be a corner. And out swinging this one. It's Pereira that's going to take it. His corner led to that first goal right at the end of the first half. And he swings it in again. This time it's headed away by Agate, only as far as Robinson. Robinson launches the ball forward, picked up by Pereira. Pereira forward here to Robinson. Robinson gets a cross in, but there is nobody there for Fulham inside the 6-yard box. Muniz is trying to challenge Nusa Mesraoui, but the official's flag is actually up anyway. Russ says, sorry I took all the excitement, mate. Well, we may still get some more yet with Fulham in the lead. We'll see how Manchester United react to this as the sun goes down in Manchester. Is the sun going down on Manchester United's season? And Andre Onana now hods the ball, he clears it, left-footed downfield. Up in the air winning that one is Sanderberg. Pereira flicks it on to Muniz. Muniz not able to bring the ball under control. And it's dropped back to the goalkeeper through Lenny Yoro as Onana, this time right-footed, launches the ball downfield. And now the ball was headed back into the Manchester United half of the field. It's picked up by Fernandes, though. He sends it to Diogo Dalot. Back to Fernandes again. Ball played forward to Eriksson and out wide now to Diogo Dalot. Can he get the cross in? He can, but it's blocked. That's a really, really good block by Timothy Castagna. Castagna chases down Diogo Dalot and puts the ball out of play. We have a Luke Turton on the commentaries in the comment section. They get sun in Manchester. They do sometimes, on rare occasions, I believe. Here's Harry Maguire. Back to Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt to Maguire. And plays the ball out wide there to Diogo Dalot. Picked up by Højlund. Good work by Højlund. Good strength by the Danish man. And he drops the ball back there to Dalot, who sends it back to Lenny Yoro. Yoro goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. And here's Matthijs de Ligt now. De Ligt midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. He launches the ball forward to Dalot, and Dalot sends Eriksson on his way, but that is a good challenge by Anderson, who's defended very, very well in this game so far. And it's a throw in to Manchester United. Here's Yoro now, as Manchester United seem to be going sideways and backwards at the moment. Here's Eriksson to Fernandes. Fernandes to Diogo Dalot. Dalot, can he get the cross in? It's blocked and hacked away by Anderson up into the air. It's chested and brought down well there by Alex Iwobi. And he tries to find Muniz, but it's won by Harry Maguire. And now here's Manuel Agate for Manchester United to Eriksson. Across to Matthijs de Ligt. Good ball down this this right-hand side to Nusa Mesraoui. Mesraoui checks inside. And he's got a bit of space as he gets away from Iwobi. It's a long ball looking for Diogo Dalot, but Timothy Castagna reads that very well and heads the ball out of play as Adama Traore is down again with that knee issue. And it looks like Fulham are going to have to make some changes here. He's just down on his haunches right now. Physio staff coming on as we speak. But we're going to see whether Fulham are going to need to make some changes. Manchester United's FA Cup run has come from a third round victory over Arsenal on penalties, 1-1 after full time, 5-3 on spot kicks, and beating Leicester by 2-1 at Old Trafford. For Fulham, they've had to get past Watford of the Championship with a 4-1 win at home, and Wigan away from League One with a 2-1 victory. So this is their first meeting of Premier League opponents in the fifth round. That's all Manchester United have had so far, as Emile Smith-Rowe is rearing himself to come on now, as so is Garnacho for Manchester United. And I think he's had quite enough of everything at this point as Ruben Amorim. And it looks like he is making his way on. Victor Lindelof as well. So I suspect Emile Smith-Rowe will be on for Adama Traore. Former Arsenal player Emile Smith-Rowe. Boy, do they miss him at the Emirates Stadium right now. It was not a good idea to sell him. As Adama Traore comes after applauding by the Fulham fans, we wish Adama all the best. Hope he gets a full recovery very soon. Emile Smith-Rowe coming on in his stead. And it's coming back from injury, the Arsenal man. He was doubtful for today's game, but was fit enough for the bench. But he's now making an appearance. And two substitutes for Manchester United. Alejandro Garnacho is coming on, and also coming on is the number 2 Victor Lindelof for Manuel Ugarte. So Victor Lindelof coming on for Manuel Ugarte. That's an interesting substitution. Ugarte is very much a midfield player, and we're just trying. Oh, Lenny Yoro is the other person. It's Manuel Ugarte coming off for Alejandro Garnacho and Lenny Yoro for Victor Lindelof. That at least makes a little bit more sense. And those are your substitutes. As Manchester United going to push and shove now to try to get back into this game. The ball is with Nusa Mesraoui. Mesraoui cuts inside, but it's won back by Emile Smith-Rowe. His first touch of the ball in this game. He drops it back to Calvin Bassey. Bassey tries to clear the ball, but it's blocked well by Joshua Zirkzee. And it's going to be a free kick. It's going to be a throw-in to Fulham. As Anthony Robinson will now take this throw-in. So we see our first substitutes by both managers, really. This one enforced on Marco Silva. Ruben Amorim making his substitutes by choice, hoping that a fit Alejandro Garnacho might make a difference here for Manchester United. We know he's capable of it. Free kick to Manchester United, and it's going to be Christian Eriksen. It's just down the right-hand side, midway inside the Fulham half of the field. Christian Eriksen is going to take this one. Swings the ball in, and there's Zirkzee. It's just over Zirkzee's head, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Oh, Eriksen, not the best delivery, but just over Joshua Zirkzee's head. As Manchester United looking to get back into this cup tie. The goal in injury time at the end of the first half by Calvin Bassey is the difference, with the assist from Rodrigo Munez's header. The ball is cleared forward there, looking for Pereira. It's won in the air by Matthijs de Ligt. And good work by Garnacho, but he was almost dispossessed. And here goes Pereira now for Fulham. Pereira, he's got 2 or 3 players around him, tries to find Smith-Rowe, but the pass is behind Smith-Rowe, and Manchester United clear it with Matthijs de Ligt, but just for a moment Fulham was in there. It was a poor pass in the end to Emile Smith-Rowe. It was played behind him, but Emile Smith-Rowe, we know, is well capable, as Lenny Yoro looking on there. And Manchester United are going to need to start creating something, because in this second half they've really created nothing so far. Long throw by Anthony Robinson, chested down by Munez, but the header goes off Eriksen and goes out of play for a throw-in to Fulham. Just inside the Manchester United half of the field, down the left-hand side, it's Anthony Robinson. Alejandro Garnacho on. It's probably Manchester United's best hope now. And it's Joshua Zirkzee now, wins the ball back, but he's dispossessed by Sander Berg for Fulham. Sander Berg taking it all the way back towards his own goal and eventually drops it back to Bert Leno. Leno clears the ball downfield. It was a poor clearance by the German. Picked up by Alex Iwobi, who's over on the right-hand side now. And there's Anderson, played back to Iwobi. Iwobi's clearance only finds Victor Lindelof. And now the ball out wide there by Fernandez. Here's Dallo with a cross. Looking for the header there by the number 3, Nusa Mesraoui. He only manages to head the ball down into the turf, and it bounces up kindly for Bert Leno. And you see the cross here. Wasn't a bad cross at all, but Nusa Mesraoui only able to just get the header down into the turf, and it just bounces up comfortably for the goalkeeper. And that's Sander Berg, plays the ball down to the left-hand side to Anthony Robinson. And a layoff there by Emil Smith-Rowe. Back to Sander Berg, Smith-Rowe again. Good ball forward there to Muniz. Muniz drops the ball back there to Lukic. Lukic has to pick up the ball again and drops the ball back into his own half of the field. And now then, here's Bassi. Bassi, short to Robinson. Robinson plays the ball forward to Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe does a quick 1-2 there with Pereira. Smith-Rowe down the left-hand side, and that's a good challenge by Matthijs de Ligt. Puts that ball out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Fulham. Down the left-hand side, level with the Manchester United penalty area that Anthony Robinson is going to take. As we approach the hour mark, it's still Manchester United 0, Fulham 1. Bassi drops the ball back there. And Bassi again gives the ball once again to Anderson. Anderson being very, very good defensively for Fulham. Really led by example in this game. Here's Smith-Rowe now down the left-hand side. Checks back. Drops the ball back to Bassi. Bassi inside his own half of the field. Back to Anderson. And Anderson drops it back to Bert Leno. Leno goes long downfield, looking for Harry Maguire, or rather looking for Muniz, but it's Harry Maguire who wins the ball, and cleared away by Bruno Fernandes into the Fulham half of the field, and headed back by Calvin Bassi to Bert Leno again, as Manchester United just look short of ideas at the moment, and Fulham looking for opportunities to extend their lead. And it's now with Anderson. Anderson lifts the ball forward, well intercepted by Fernandes, but only as far as Calvin Bassi. Bassi gives the ball to Anthony Robinson, the Fulham captain. Anthony Robinson, he gives the ball away to Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt to Fernandes. Fernandes drops it back to Harry Maguire. Maguire back to Fernandes. He had to slide to win that ball, as Harry Maguire will get a second bite of the cherry now. And he delivers the ball across to Victor Lindelof. Lindelof over the halfway line to Joshua Zirkzee, and out wide now to Garnacho. Garnacho checking back and drops it back here to Lindelof again, and it's with Matthijs de Ligt. Out to Nusa Mesraoui. Mesraoui steps inside. Back to de Ligt, and here is Eriksen. Drops the ball back almost to the centre, almost to the halfway line to Harry Maguire, who goes long over on the far side. And here's the Argentinian, Garnacho. Garnacho in change of pace, gets across him brilliantly, but it's over everybody's head and goes out of play. That was a brilliant change of pace by Garnacho, ahead of Timothy Castagna. Unfortunately, the cross was over everybody's head and goes out of play, but that's much more encouraging for Manchester United. I see Manchester United fans looking on right now, and they don't look particularly impressed. But it's a throw-in. They've had 3 on target in the game. They've had 7 attempts, 3 on target. Fulham have had 5 attempts, only 1 on target, of course, which was the goal. And the throw-in is taken quickly, headed down there by Matthijs de Ligt. And here's Zirkzee now for Manchester United. Is he challenged from behind there? The referee says play on. It's back with Fernandes though. Fernandes is about 30 yards out, tries a shot, Fernandes, and Bert Leno gets down comfortably to make that save. Well, it was worth the effort. really Manchester United, they're not creating much, so I actually think Bruno Fernandes was worth trying from there. We know he can score from distance. He scored a fantastic free kick against Ipswich, and that was a good effort, but behind it all the way was Bert Leno. And Leno has the ball now. He clears the ball downfield. Up in the air is Iwobi, but that's won comfortably by Lindelof. But Fulham have the ball back now with Pereira inside the centre circle to Anthony Robinson out on the left-hand side. Robinson to Smith Rowe, back to Pereira. And that gives the ball to Calvin Bassey. Bassey to Smith Rowe. Good ball forward here. It's Sander Berg. And out wide now to Anthony Robinson. Here's Sander Berg in midfield. Fulham just slowing the game down, keeping possession, doing the basics right at the moment. Bassey across there to Castagna. Berg. Iwobi. Lukic. Dispossessed. Fulham, Manchester United can try to break out now, but they're just a bit slow on the break. And there's Lindelof. Gives the ball to Fernandes. Fernandes, he was trying to find Garnacho, but he put the ball out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in for Fulham. We've had 63 minutes gone in this game. It is still Manchester United 0, Fulham 1. Calvin Bassey's goal in injury time at the end of the first half, the difference. Here's Smith Rowe. That's a really, really good ball to Anthony Robinson. Played in the middle, laid off by Pereira. Smith Rowe with a shot. Oh, it's spilled by Andre Onana, but in the end, you have to say it was a decent save. But they swarmed on Andre Onana's goal there. And in the end, the Cameroonian international just did well to keep a hold of that. It was a beautiful move by Fulham. Great football. The one touch layoff by Pereira to Smith Rowe, and Smith Rowe gets Onana gets down to it, and Fulham looking for the second goal there, but that was the best bit of football that Fulham have played in the entire game. Beautiful move, beautiful football. And here's Manchester United now. Well, they've given the ball away again, and Pereira wins it back, gives it to Berg and on to Lukic. Flicked on by Iwobi. Oh, that's a good interception there by Harry Maguire. Maguire drops the ball back to Lindelof. Bruno Fernandes lifts the ball forward, and chasing this one is Joshua Zirkzee. But Anderson there as he's been throughout the whole game. Sander Berg gives the ball to Pereira. Pereira sends Iwobi on a chase, but he's not going to get there. And in the end, it's knocked back to the goalkeeper by Victor Lindelof. And it's cleared long downfield by Andre Onana. The header won by Anderson once again. And coming out of his goal, way out of his goal there is Bert Leno. And there's Anthony Robinson. That's a good ball by Robinson to Anderson. Sander Berg. Back to Anderson again. To Castagna. To Berg. Forward here to Alex Iwobi. Manchester United 0, Fulham 1. As here's Calvin Bassey storming over the halfway line. He's the goal scorer. He's the difference between these two teams. Good ball to Pereira. Quick 1-2 with Pereira. Back to Bassey, and he gives the ball to Berg. Calvin Bassey again. And to Smith Rowe. Bassey going all the way back and just turning away from Rasmus Højlund. And what a performance Calvin Bassey has put in today as well, incidentally. Pereira just trying to nip in there, but Victor Lindelof gets to the ball first. Harry Maguire plays it forward to Nusa Mesraoui. Mesraoui wins the ball out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. As Mesraoui is just taking a drink, and it looks like, yes, we're going to get a short drinks break here. Manchester United, they're running out of ideas. They have very little else to offer on the bench. I would suggest, if it was me, I would be looking to bring Garnacho into the game more. As for Fulham, they're defending very, very well, and Manchester United are struggling to break down the conundrum that is this Fulham defence, as we take a look again at the goal and just how poor was that defending. Harry Maguire. Well, they were all having an inquisition in the defence there as to what happened with that goal. I'm sure they'll review it on the TV tomorrow during training, I suspect, as the players are now just taking their water break. And from earlier on today, if you missed it, you missed an absolutely scorching game of football. Newcastle 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. Alexander Isak from the penalty spot on 22 minutes. Then he got a goal disallowed, and Jakob Minter equalised on 44 minutes. And another goal disallowed in the last seconds of the game by Shaw. And then in extra time on the 114th minute, Danny Welbeck scored, and 2 red cards as well. So it really was quite something to watch. But we've got a double substitution coming up now for Manchester United. As they are looking for options. Casemiro will replace, I have no doubt will replace Eriksen. Rasmus is also going off, Rasmus Højlund. I'm trying to see who that is. It's Chido Obi is coming on for Manchester United, and yes, the other substitute is in fact Eriksen. As these are what Manchester United has got, and what Ruben Amorim has got available now. Let's see whether it really makes any difference to see if he can get Manchester United back into this game, because it's been a challenge really from start to finish for Manchester United, but I think they just need to create 1 or 2 chances. But here's Pereira now. Pereira skips into the penalty area. Real chance for Pereira. Oh, a superb challenge there by Matthijs de Ligt. Helps out Victor Lindelof there. Oh, he got into the penalty area, Pereira. Got away from Lindelof, but Matthijs de Ligt came over there and showed what defending really is. A superb challenge by the Dutchman there. And well, it's going to be a corner for Fulham. And De Ligt looks like he might have hurt his shoulder. Manchester United can ill afford any more injuries. But the corner is going to be taken, and Casemiro on there now might have some creativity in the middle of the park for Manchester United. The corner is going to be taken by Andreas Pereira. Once again, not inside the quadrant. Launched in by Pereira, punched away by Onana. Good piece of goalkeeping. Only as far as Anderson. Anderson just checks back and drops the ball back into his own half there to Anthony Robinson. And across there to Emil Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe goes all the way back to Bert Leno, as we are going to get at least my first look at Obi. Chidozie Obi for Manchester United. See whether they've got a young starlet there. Here is Dalot, forward to Joshua Zirkzee. And out wide to Garnacho. Garnacho switches inside. Good ball to Dalot, super ball. Dalot gets the cross in. And the heads go up and it's cleared away. Pereira trying to hook the ball away again as well. Header won there by Victor Lindelof to Garnacho. Garnacho once again sets off Dalot on his way. Dalot swings the ball into Fernandes, who turns the ball in, and it's 1-1 with 20 minutes to go. And Fernandes unlocks the door to this Fulham defence and makes it 1-1. Well, that really is a super finish by Fernandes, and Manchester United are level, and that was really great football, starting with Alejandro Garnacho. His pass to Diogo Dalot, the vision was outstanding, and Garnacho here just picks out Dalot and is completely unmarked, and his pass straight to Fernandes. Poor defending really by Fulham. They didn't pick up Fernandes, and as a consequence his goal has made it 1-1, and it's game on at Old Trafford. Super pass to Fernandez, and he just stroked that ball past Bert Leno, who didn't stand a chance. And it's 1-1. And, well, we could be seeing more extra time. Of course, the draw is to follow this game, but the draw will not come until this game is over. So we may be seeing a very late FA Cup draw. At this point now, there's still plenty of time for either side to find a winner. But 19 minutes to go. Fernandez gets the equaliser for Fulham, for Manchester United, and well, it's changed a lot in terms of the creativity, really, for United since Garnacho has been introduced. And that was Ruben Amorim's ace in the hole, as it were. Here is Smith Rowe, lays it off to Anderson. Anderson across there to Castagna. Oh, Iwobi tries to win the ball back, but he's almost dispossessed. Lukic fighting for it at the moment. It's won back there by Anderson. And there is a really good ball to Sander Berg. Sander Berg out wide here to Pereira. Pereira swings the ball in. Oh, and a clearance away that time by Casemiro, which loops itself out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in to Fulham. Almost level with the Manchester United penalty area. It's taken quickly. Smith Rowe across to Alex Iwobi. Iwobi back to Lukic. Lukic just checks inside. Anderson out to Iwobi. Iwobi lifts the ball across there, and it's turned across by Castagna. Comes back to Anthony Robinson, but the ball is over the crossbar. And well, an opportunity there for Fulham. Another warning shot fired across Manchester United's bow. Really good play by Castagna. The clearance wasn't good enough by De Ligt. Fell right to Robinson, but it went over the crossbar. And it's a goal kick to Manchester United. It's hard to see which side is going to get the winner here, but you have to feel that Manchester United might be the favourites at this point. Media, Radio, Jingles and Gaming says, I know it's a while till the FA Cup final and Manchester United haven't won the game yet, but another All-Manchester Cup final be on the way. Well, that would be the third in a row. That would never happen before. If it did happen that way, I think it's more likely that they could end up meeting each other in the quarter-final or semi-final. Is also a possibility. But that's if Manchester United get through. But they must have the momentum right now, and there's a player down. And it's Joshua Zirkzee who is down right now. Bruno Fernandes. As we look again at Dallow's pinpoint pass to Fernandes, who stroked the ball into the net. And Manchester United really out of nowhere are level. And, well, Manchester United fans happy with that. Given the season that they're having so far, the FA Cup is certainly something that is keeping this season alive for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes trying to G his troops up. Casemiro on as well right now. Wily veteran. We have 15 minutes to go here. It's Manchester United 1, Fulham 1 at Old Trafford. As the warming up continues for Manchester United. Extra time is to be upon us. We'll see how that turns out. I'm not sure if we're going to get extra time for the second game in a row, but we'll see. Stuart Atwell has picked up the ball, and it looks like, I don't know what he's going to do here, Stuart Atwell. He may just hand the ball to Bruno Fernandes. Here we go. There's another substitution for Manchester United coming up. Or unless that's Joshua Zirkzee actually waiting to come back on. Looks like it's Joshua Zirkzee waiting to come back on. They have only one more outfielder for a substitute as Manchester United, and that's Aidan Heaven. And we may well see him before the end of the game. The ball is long. It's won by Anthony Robinson and picked up here by Sander Berg. Just checks inside. And across here to Sasa Lukic. Good ball there to Alex Iwobi into the middle, looking for Muniz. Can Muniz get control over it? He can, and he turns it wide. Oh, Muniz, what an opportunity. Oh, he just manages to get... I don't know if he or Delict actually got the last touch, but the cross was swung in. It was brought down well by the Brazilian. There was a slight suspicion of handball there as well. But it's finally behind, actually, by Maguire, who got the final touch. It's going to be a corner for Fulham. And it's the 5th one of the game for the Cottagers. And it's going to be taken by Andres Pereira. It's really where the goal came from, was from the set piece. It's going to swing this one in, Pereira, all the way to the back post. It's headed back in and over the crossbar from Anderson, and it's a goal kick. Well, with 13 minutes to go at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 1, Fulham 1. And those are the Fulham fans up there in that space right now. They can be reasonably happy with their performance. It's never an easy place to come, Old Trafford, even when with Manchester United having the season that they're having. Here's Lindelof. Plays some... Oh, it's a terrible giveaway by Lindelof. And here's Emil Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe now holds the ball up to Anthony Robinson. It's just inviting pressure, really, that. Anthony Robinson drops the ball back to the centre line to Calvin Bassey. Bassey to Anderson, across to Robinson. Robinson lifts the ball forward. It's headed down there by Pereira. Picked up by Sanderberg. Across to Lukic. Out to Alex Iwobi. Iwobi gets the cross in. It's bouncing around there and finally putting his foot through it is Fernandez. And it's flicked on, and again, putting the foot through it again. Bassey wins the header that time. As Fernandez once again, this time he finds Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho beats one, strikes a shot, Garnacho. It's a poor effort in the end, and a comfortable save for the goalkeeper. But now Fulham are on the break, and over the halfway line is Emil Smith-Rowe. Gives the ball to Anthony Robinson. Breaking down the left-hand side. He's got Fernandez in front of him. Back to Smith-Rowe. Across here to Lukic. A goal now by either side, and you have to wonder whether that will be enough. Iwobi. Back to Pereira with a shot, and it's over wide and not so handsome. And with 10 minutes to go in this game, it is 1-1 in this last FA Cup 5th round match of the weekend. There is another one tomorrow at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest versus Ipswich Town. And that will make up the final quarter-finals. As Luke is making a comment there in the private chat saying, "You Reds." I actually think Ipswich will win. I'm just saying. Ball goes back into Manchester United's half of the field, and it's picked up by the goalkeeper Andre Onana. Launches the ball downfield. Xerxes goes up to try to win the header, and so does Garnacho, but it's headed out of play by Anderson. Good work again by him. Ross sinks Forest 0, Ipswich 1 as well. Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. It's the FA Cup. It's hard to predict. Here's Mesraoui. Picked up again there in the middle of the park there by Victor Lindelof. Lindelof releases it to Harry Maguire. It's a good long ball out to the far side there to Garnacho. Garnacho getting to the byline. Great work by Alexandro Garnacho. And a good challenge there. A vital challenge. Putting that ball behind by Anderson. And well, you know, Fulham at the moment are being stretched down that left-hand side by Alejandro Garnacho. It's a corner to Manchester United. It's going to be taken by Bruno Fernandes. He's probably going to swing this one in. And Fulham have to defend tightly here. They don't want to concede at this point. It's swung in by Fernandes, headed out. Good header into the air, really, by Anderson. Iwobi just kicks the ball up in the air as well. This is not going to help Fulham's cause. Headed out by Muniz. Cleared away. And chasing this one down is Iwobi. And something has happened here. Anderson is down. Anderson is down and he's clutching his throat. That doesn't look good. Did he take something? Did somebody throw something from the crowd? Like there was nobody. Let's have a look. Oh, the arm over the throat there by Obi. He's okay. He's on his feet. Obi there with the arm around the throat of Anderson. Nothing major in it. It's just balancing with his arms, but it's a free kick anyway to Fulham. It's just going to hand him the ball to Anderson. And Anderson's going to look at what options are available as they go back to the goalkeeper. Bert Leno, he releases it to Calvin Bassey. We've got 8 minutes to go here. Time ticking down at Old Trafford, ticking towards extra time. Both me and Ross today are going to be very, very tired by the end of all this. The throw-in is going to be taken just down the left-hand side for Fulham. And it's going to be taken by Anthony Robinson. Robinson throws the ball forward there to Emile Smith-Rowe. And it's picked up by Anderson. Good ball out to the far side to Iwobi. Iwobi checks inside there to Emile Smith-Rowe. Drop back to Bassey. Bassey to Robinson. Plays the ball forward to Pereira now. Here's a chance for Smith-Rowe. He gets into the penalty area. What can he do with it? Oh, he slips, does Emile Smith-Rowe at the vital moment. And it's going to be a goal kick. And that is very, very unfortunate for Emile Smith-Rowe. He just slips at the vital moment there, just as he was about to get that cross in. And it's going to be a goal kick to Manchester United. Lindelof just drops the ball back to Onana. Media radio jingles and gaming says you both surely will be tired after this game. Brilliant commentary and coverage of both FA Cup matches today. Russ and Paul, superb job as always. Thank you, appreciate that. It's always nice to get that kind of feedback. Thank you very much. It's a throw in now to taken quickly, and it's picked up by Anthony Robinson. Robinson drops the ball back to Calvin Bassey. Time ticking down at Old Trafford. We are ticking towards extra time. 30 more minutes, bonus football. Here is Calvin Bassey now for Fulham. He plays it to Anthony Robinson, to Smith-Rowe. And it's back to Bassey. And Pereira. Pereira holds the ball up and sends the ball forward. That's a nice layoff by Anthony Robinson to Emile Smith-Rowe. Emile Smith-Rowe tries to get Anthony Robinson on his way, but cutting across is Matthias de Ligt and putting that ball out for a Fulham throw-in. It's about a yard or two away from the corner flag. Anthony Robinson is going to take this throw-in. It would really suit a long thrower here, but it's going to be a short one, in fact. Anthony Robinson is going to just throw the ball towards Pereira. It breaks loose for Joshua Zirkzee and hacked away by Bruno Fernandes, headed out of play there by Obi, and it's going to be a throw-in. And we have just a few minutes left to go. I suspect there may be 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time because we have had 1 or 2 stoppages, particularly for the injury to Zirkzee. Here is Calvin Bassey. Plays it across there to Anderson. Anderson. Good ball to Castagna. And now picks up the ball here is Alex Iwobi. Iwobi, oh, that was short for Anderson, but he hacks the ball into the Manchester United half of the field. Berg tries to pick up the ball here and it's knocked down by Anderson. And Iwobi just not able to get there before Delo. And Garnacho plays it back. And the ball forward looking for Garnacho means Smith-Rowe comes across and makes a challenge. Lukic is claiming it's a throw into Fulham. Delo is down over on the touchline. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, that's actually a throw into Fulham, or at least it should be, but it came off the low last. But I think the throw-in given by Lukic's reaction, the throw-in is for Manchester United. And indeed it is. It's taken quickly. Goes back to Victor Lindelof. Lindelof across to Matthias de Ligt. De Ligt forward there to Nusa Mesraoui, skipping away from Anthony Robinson. Gives the ball to Casemiro. It's a long ball looking for Xerxes. It's comfortably dealt with by Calvin Bassey. Sander Berg. That's a good ball there to Anderson, who sets off Anthony Robinson on his way. Now Fulham coming forward. Emil Smith-Rowe across to Lukic. Out wide to Iwobi. Manchester United stretched here. Iwobi cutting to the edge of the penalty area. Just looking for options. Can he get the cross in? He plays it across there to Smith-Rowe. And now here's Robinson. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Swings it in. It's headed out by Maguire and hacked away by Bruno Fernandes and headed down there. Really well done by Castagna. And then back to the goalkeeper by Anderson, as we have got 2 minutes left in this game. And goodness knows how much stoppage time, but we are ticking towards another 30 minutes here. Here is Lukic. Can one of these sides get a winner before the end of the game? And Iwobi holds the ball up to Sander Berg. Bassey. He's got options left and right. He's just finds Pereira. Pereira to Robinson. Robinson. Oh, back to Pereira, but it's short there, really. And Calvin Bassey has to nip in and keep possession for Fulham. Here's Iwobi. Oh, good turn by Iwobi. Gets the ball back there to Anderson. It's fantastic play by the Nigerian, Alex Iwobi. Former Arsenal player, of course. And here's Anderson. Back to Bassey. Again to Iwobi. Has switched sides from the right to the left. It's touched on by Smith-Rowe, but it's given away to Casemiro. And now here's Joshua Zirkzee. Long ball forward, looking for Alejandro Garnacho. Attempted the second time, but that ball was won by Castagna. Dalot now storming forward, helping the break for Manchester United. Here's Zirkzee. Good hold by Zirkzee. A sliding challenge there, but Zirkzee is fouled, I think. It's going to be a free kick for Manchester United. Let's take a look at this again. Zirkzee under pressure from Lukic. Yes, he's got a hold of Joshua Zirkzee's arm. That's a free kick. No question about that. And the free kick is going to be taken. It's a corner of the penalty area. Left-hand side for Manchester United. Let's say about 10 or 15 yards outside the penalty area. It's one to be swung in by Bruno Fernandes. It's a good position. Fernandes is going to swing this one in. The heads go up. It's flicked on by Maguire, but straight through to Bert Leno, who releases the ball to Anthony Robinson. Ticking down to the 90th minute. There is going to be 8 minutes of stoppage time. Wow. Cleared away by Pereira. Looking for Muniz. Muniz trying to win that ball back. He does successfully ahead of Bruno Fernandes, but only succeeds in giving the ball straight to the feet of Casemiro. And what does Stuart Atwell want now? Stuart Atwell has blown his whistle, and it looks like we have a player down on the far side. And it looks like it's Pereira there, who's flat on his back. We hope he's okay. It looks like he's taken a bang to the head. And 8 minutes of stoppage time. And media, radio, jingles and gaming says the former Arsenal man Iwobi has played brilliant today for Fulham. I think there's been one or two that have played really well. Certainly defensively with Anderson played very, very well. Calvin Bassey played very, very well. Timothy Castagna also is one to name. For Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes, Matthias de Ligt are names to mention. Garnacho, since he's come on, has been a huge difference maker. So we'll see how all this pans out. As the player's taking a drink, this is going to add more stoppage time on the end of this game. Before we look at extra time, there's plenty of time. Well, with 8 minutes of stoppage time, for either of these sides to get a winning goal. And looks like Raul Jimenez is ready to come on to inject some pace into that Fulham attack. And also Kenny Tete. Is it Kenny Tete? No, Willian. I'm sorry, Willian, not Tete. Willian looks like he is coming on, but also Raul Jimenez as well. We all know what Raul Jimenez can do. So it's a complete change up on the front line as Rodrigo Muniz comes off. It's been an effort by him as well. So Muniz is off. We'll just see who the other player is that is coming off. It might be Pereira. We'll see here in just a moment. One of them is Muniz. I'm not sure who the other one is. We'll get that for you in a moment. It is so Rodrigo Muniz for Raul Jimenez, and there's been no. Here we go. Andres Pereira is the man coming off for Willian. So that is the difference there, as we now looking like we are heading to extra time. Here's Bassi under pressure, and it's picked up by Kenny Tete. And the ball is played forward there to Sanderberg. Oh, that's a really good ball to Iwobi. Iwobi looking to get the cross in. Oh, it's blocked. And it's off the low, and it's going to be a throw into Fulham over on that right-hand side. Well, it's taken quickly and finds Sanderberg. And the ball is a poor one. Just looking there for Lukic, and now Casemiro plays the ball forward for Garnacho. Garnacho is dispossessed. Can Fulham come forward now with Emile Smith-Rowe? Breaking forward, he's got a bit of space. He's got Willian alongside him. Smith-Rowe checks back. Oh, and he runs straight into Manchester United players. And the ball is cleared downfield. And not the right decision by Smith-Rowe on that occasion. But Fulham have the ball back again now. With Anthony Robinson, plays it to Sanderberg. Well, it's played out wide and picked up by Willian. And it's across to Berg again. Out to Iwobi. Iwobi plays the ball forward here. Picked up by Lukic. It's back to Iwobi. Back to Smith-Rowe with a shot. Oh, what a super save by Andre Onana. He just kept his side in the FA Cup right there. Oh, what a super save. Laid off by Iwobi to the number 32 for Fulham, Emile Smith-Rowe. And a fingertip save. It might have even clipped the post on the way by. But that there, Manchester United fans, is the reason why you are still in the FA Cup. What a super save. The cross comes in. It's headed out by Xerxes. And out of play. It's taken quickly. Emile Smith-Rowe again. And out of play there off Xerxes again. And Willian is going to have another goal with this throw-in. Speaking of Arsenal, it doesn't look like Arsenal will win the Premier League this season. Surely not extra time again. Looks like it. I think Andre Onana might have sealed the deal on that. What a superb save that was. As here is Anthony Robinson, takes that throw in quickly. Knocked back by Xerxes. And back to Xerxes again from Casemiro. And a yellow card is flashed in the way there of Anderson. And it's going to be a free kick. And we are on 6 minutes of stoppage time. I do suspect we're probably going to play more than the 8 minutes, just because of the injury to Pereira and the substitutes. But Andre Onana is now going to take this free kick. He plays it short here to Fernandez. Fernandez goes long. And it's just headed out there. Cross finds to Garnacho. Good play by Garnacho. Finds Dallo. Dallo launches the ball into the penalty area. Good work by Bassi with a header. Headed out by Willian as well. And it's now back to Smith Rowe. Clears the ball downfield, looking for Anthony Robinson. He plays the ball forward. Willian was chasing it down, but it deflected away from him. And now here's Nusa Mesraoui. Time ticking down at Old Trafford. Cleared forward by Fernandez. A much deeper role this time. The ball is with, Bassi as he turned there, and here's an opportunity. There's a whistles across the 6-yard box from Obi. Chidozie Obi, what a chance he had to put his name on in lights there. Garnacho swings the ball in again, and it'll just go behind for a goal kick. Obi there, he was very, very honest. I think he was being held. He actually could have gone down here. Let's take a look. Calvin Bassi. Yes, he was being held. That was very honest by Chidozie Obi. And actually, I feel Manchester United, well, looking at it from that angle, it might have been more 6-1, half a dozen. But it's an opportunity for Obi to put his name up in lights, but he pulled the shot wide. It's a goal kick. Bert Leno is going to take it, as it looks like we are heading to extra time. Ball is cleared downfield. Up in the air there, flicked on. Iwobi picks up the ball. And now here's Emile Smith Rowe. Can Fulham steal it at the last? Smith Rowe, great ball out wide to Anthony Robinson. Robinson swings the ball in. It's headed out by Lindelof. Only as far as Raul Jimenez. Jimenez gets the ball back here off Berg. It's headed back in. And out again by Victor Lindelof. We are heading to extra time. And it's back into the Fulham penalty area. And now here is, ball is picked up here by Calvin Bassi. And yes, Ross, I did know Obi was a former Arsenal youngster. And here is Willian. Wow, we are in the 9th minute of stoppage time here, as it looks like we are heading to extra time. Here's Smith Rowe across to Sanderberg. Sanderberg out wide there to Lukic. Back to Lukic again. Here's Berg, midway inside the Manchester United half. Iwobi, good ball out wide here. Gets the cross into the middle. It's headed out there by Nusa Mesraoui, but only as far as Anderson, who gives it back to Bassi. Fulham looking for the winner now. They want to do the job now. The cross is in by Anthony Robinson. It's just flicked out by Lindelof. Challenging for the ball there is Lukic, but Fernandez cuts across, gives the ball back to Casemiro. Casemiro releases the ball, well laid off by Chidozie Obi. And now, that's a great through ball, and all of a sudden, through there is Garnacho, and a super save by Leno. Gets down to stop that from Alejandro Garnacho. It was a good save. Oh, Manchester United nearly stole it there. Nusa Mesraoui. And we must be close to extra time now. We're heading into the 11th minute of stoppage time. Launched into the penalty area. It's chested down, and a chance there for Obi, and he just pokes the ball wide. Oh, it's the second time he's come close in this game. Well, he's a bright spark. And, well, if he'd have put that in the net, well, once again, he'd have had his name up in lights, wouldn't he? You have to say it's a chance. And it's just wide in the end, as we are now in the 101st minute. So we are now really in the 13th minute of the 12th minute of stoppage time, for a stoppage time of 8. As Castagna clears the ball away, but you can see again Alejandro Garnacho it's just turned away there by. So we look again at that save by Bert Leno. And that's it. It's the end of 90 minutes in this case. We are going to have extra time. But what a game, an equaliser in the second half by Alejandro Garnacho on the 71st minute. First minute has tied this up 1-1 before extra time. Back to you, Ross.
Thank you very much there, Paul James. Excellent commentary so far in the FA Cup. And Paul, do you think, looking at the way the second half's gone, do you think this game has been the scoreline is the right one for the end of 90 minutes, would you say?
I would say so. Manchester United certainly looked a lot better when Garnacho was brought on. They certainly looked a more creative, looked much more of a threat, and they have been since he's come on. Fulham are getting one or two chances themselves. Both teams are stretching each other. That second half was such an upgrade on the first half. This is good. This game could actually go either way, to be honest with you, Ross.
Yes, absolutely. And you've got to say, Paul, with the equalising goal which came from Bruno Fernandes, you've got to look at two people in the Fulham setup which were very, very lacklustre, in my opinion, Paul. I don't know what you think. First, Smith Rowe for not stopping and not tracking the run initially from Fernandes, but then also Sander Berg, who turned away as the shot came in and jumped over the ball as it went through his legs into the back of the net. You've got to say those two have done a bit better there, than the goal from Fernandes may not have come around, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true. Defensive errors for both goals. I mean, it's a shame for Fulham because they've defended so well throughout the game. But yeah, that was it. I mean, I look at it, Ross, and I think we've got a game on our hands now.
We have, yes, and you've already alluded to it, Paul, during the commentary. Manchester United haven't got many other options they can use or fetch on in terms of outfield players. They've only got Evan left with two goalkeepers on the bench. Fulham, they've only got the likes of Kearney, Reid, Sessegnon, who can get for Quinn, who was good the other night as well for Fulham again in their last Premier League outing as well. So you've got to say Fulham have got the much better options on the bench if they want to use those to potentially make another change and fetch in their final changes in this game. And it looks as though Manchester United are using their final change of outfield players. They're fetching someone else for the extra time to get ready to start. And over to Paul James to let us know about that substitution for Manchester United going into extra time.
Thank you. So, of course, it can only be Aidan Heaven. And he is going to be coming on. I'm just going to see who is making way for Manchester United. We'll get that information for you just as soon as we can. Harry Maguire is the one making way. So Maguire's afternoon is done. I'm quite surprised at that. I think Harry Maguire has done quite well in this game defensively, but I mean, they must be very tired with Premier League games coming up as well. This is a different challenge now for Manchester United with the injuries that they have. But Aidan Heaven is on, and these Manchester United youngsters being asked to grow up very, very quickly. Media Radio Jingles and Games says full time and a start of extra time and penalties could happen this time. Well, who knows? The ball is now back with Anderson. Anderson plays the ball long. It's just headed down by Jimenez as Fulham immediately start on the attack. It's Willian. Willian holds the ball up there to Anthony Robinson, and it's now with the number 16 here for Fulham, Sander Berg, and it's across to Alex Iwobi. Andre Onana and this Manchester United defence are going to have to stand tall in extra time. Oh, that's a beautiful back heel by Willian to Jimenez. It's picked up there by Anthony Robinson. Back to Jimenez. Jimenez looking to skittle inside the Manchester United defence. He goes down under the challenge there And no foul, says the referee, even though he was bundled down from behind. The ball is cleared away by Manchester United, but picked up here by the number 21, Timothy Castagna. And now here's Alex Iwobi. Iwobi picked up by Sanderberg. And it's a good pass there by Robinson. And there's Calvin Bassey, as Fulham have got every player in the Manchester United half of the field. They do not want this to go to penalties by the looks of it. Willian now for Manchester United. For Arsenal. For Fulham. Goodness me. Here is Anthony Robinson again. Back there to Anderson. Anderson to Bassey. Anderson just over the halfway line. Fulham keeping possession right now. Perhaps going to get Manchester United to chase the ball and tire themselves out. Anderson holds the ball on the halfway line. And now here is Sanderberg. Plays that's a good ball out wide to Iwobi. Iwobi tries to play the ball in the middle, but nobody there. And Matthijs de Ligt just clears the ball only as far as Alex Iwobi again now. The ball comes off Iwobi only to Joshua Zirkzee. And Casemiro plays the ball forward. And away is Garnacho. He's in one-on-one. Can Garnacho take the lead here? Oh, he puts it into the side netting. Well, Garnacho stripped really the Fulham defence for pace. It was a brilliant ball by Garnacho over the top. By Casemiro over the top to Garnacho. He puts the ball into the side netting. But that is an opportunity, it has to be said, for the Argentinian. Manchester United have had 2 or 3 opportunities in this game so far that they really should have buried. It's 1-1. And here's De Ligt. Forward to Mazraoui. Mazraoui checks inside to the number 11 Zirkzee. Zirkzee's ball is poor. And it's given away to Iwobi, and Iwobi tries to set Lukic off on his way over on that far side. Drops the ball back to Sanderberg. And Calvin Bassey now to Berg again. This is really good play by Fulham. Berg just slows it down, how tiring it must be for these players at this time. An FA Cup 5th round, extra time. They've both got league games at the weekend. Manchester United's game is on Sunday, of course. I think they've got Arsenal. The ball is out wide there, looking for Anthony Robinson, and it goes out of play for a throw-in to Manchester United. And they've also got the Europa League game away to Real Sociedad on a Thursday, and then Arsenal on the Sunday. That is going to put a massive stretch on this squad. Fulham, after this game, they're away to Brighton on Saturday, so they get much more of a rest. But Manchester United, they're going to be stretched to their very limits. Here's Zirkzee. Oh, it's a poor giveaway by Zirkzee. Oh, great play. And, Sasa Lukic just trying to skip inside the Manchester United defence, but it was cleared away downfield. And it's a throw-in taken by Anderson very quickly. And there's Anthony Robinson. Gives the ball to Sanderberg just inside his own half of the field. And across to Anderson. Anderson out wide to Iwobi. Manchester United set up almost like a 4-2-3-1 formation this time. It's a long ball looking for Anthony Robinson, but that's away from the American, and it goes behind. And Anderson's effort there was behind, and I'm just going to give my player of the match to Ross at this time. And I will announce that as we come towards the end of the first period of extra time. And I'll give you that a little bit later. Andre Onana clears the ball downfield. Header one there by Castagna, and it goes out of play for a throw-in. Really surprised that Fulham haven't made use of these last 2 substitutes yet. He may be waiting for the second period of extra time, but the header is won there by Anderson again. Garnacho forward to Xerxes. Dallo. Xerxes, that's a really good ball to Obi. Obi is dispossessed, and there's Calvin Bassey, who is also dispossessed and challenged. He goes down under pressure, and it's a free kick to Fulham. It's not a challenge. He cuts in. It was a deliberate body check by De Ligt. Just gets himself right in front of the Fulham goal scorer. It's a free kick to Fulham, and it's going to be taken by Bassey himself. He drops the ball back to Anderson. Anderson holds the ball up, goes long, does Anderson. He's looking for the chasing Willian. Victor Lindelof will just send it back to Onana. Onana clears the ball downfield. And the header won there by Sander Berg. And Matthijs de Ligt gives it to Casemiro. Casemiro tries to play the ball forward. It was blocked by Berg. Another opportunity, this time by Lindelof. And now here's Lukic. Lukic storming forward now. He's got left and right. He decides to go to Iwobi down the right-hand side. And now here's Sander Berg. Fulham taking their time here. Drops it back to Anderson, right on the halfway line. And across to Calvin Bassey. Bassey drops the ball now to Anderson. Anderson goes long. The header by Iwobi. Nipping in there is Aidan Heaven, and the ball goes out of play for a throw-in. And the substitutes coming up now for Fulham. We are going to see Harrison Reed coming on for Fulham. And Harrison Reed is coming on now for Fulham. I have to say, it's been one of those sort of games. Here's Alex Iwobi, just gets to the edge of the area, drops it back to Willian. Willian, ball over the top, ahead. Cross coming in by Lukic. It's headed away by De Ligt, only as far as Sander Berg. Berg turns away from Casemiro. Good play by the Norwegian. Out wide now to the number 33, Anthony Robinson. Robinson tries to get to the byline and get across. He'll get another bite at the cherry. Across to the back post. It's headed out that time by Lindelof. And Berg plays the ball into the middle, looking for Raul Jimenez, and the ball loops up into the arms of Andre Onana. We're going to very soon see Harrison Reed. I'm not sure who the substitute's going to be for. I would suspect it would be for Berg or for Lukic. We'll see. Here's Willian. Willian is dispossessed. It's an opportunity. Oh, he tried to play the ball through to Obi there, did Bruno Fernandes, but it just bounces off Obi and goes through to Bert Leno. And Fernandes, well, he's looking on. Look at this. Fernandez's through ball there, but it's the first touch by Obi wasn't the best. And coming off is Lukic. So Sasa Lukic is the man making way for Harrison Reed. Really good performance by Sasa Lukic today. He comes off right now, but he can be proud of his performance today. He's worked very hard in that midfield, been part of this Fulham side that has really worked very hard. There's 5 minutes to go at the end of the first period of extra time. And free kick is going to be taken. It's just handed back actually to Bert Leno. Gives it to Calvin Bassey. Ball played forward, looking for Raul Jimenez. That seemed to have come off Victor. Well, it's come off Raul Jimenez last. Victor Lindelof was going to take the throw in. He hands it to Nusa Mesraoui as time is ticking down at Old Trafford. Nusa Mesraoui going to go for the long throw in here. Flicked on by Xerxes. And Mesraoui again, and Fernandez goes down under the challenge. We're going to see a yellow card here, I think. Or is Stuart Atwell going to keep his card in his pockets? Looks like he is. Last 10 minutes have been 69% possession for Fulham in this game. Yes, a touch by on Fernandez was just a little bit late. No further action taken, though, by our referee today, Stuart Atwell. And the free kick is going to be taken by Bruno Fernandes, who's on his feet now. In about 2 or 3 minutes, I will give you the man of the match for this afternoon's game. As Bruno Fernandes launches the ball in, headed on by Aidan Heaven, but it goes behind for a goal kick. And Fulham will once again start from scratch as they aim to try to take advantage of having the fresher legs. The ball is played forward there to Willian. Willian is dispossessed and Bruno Fernandes has it, releases it to Casemiro. Good ball to Xerxes. Xerxes tries to play it into Obi. Obi goes down, no penalty. Anderson definitely does not, definitely in my opinion, not a penalty. It's Mesraoui who lays it off now to Xerxes. Xerxes goes in late on the challenge to Bassi, and that should be a free kick. So we might as well give the player of the match right now. So today's man of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services, I'm giving it to Manchester United's number 17, Alejandro Garnacho. His performance has been absolutely superb. He's changed the game for Manchester United since he came on, as they were not looking like creating anything. But since he's come on, has created a number of opportunities, including being involved in the goal. So today's man of the match, as sponsored by the brilliant Commentary Services, goes to Manchester United's number 17, Alejandro Garnacho. Ball headed forward by Bassi, but he only finds Nusa Mesraoui. Flicked on there by Obi. Mesraoui still fighting for it, goes down. And the free kick has been given the way of Calvin Bassi. As we approaching half time of extra time. And picked up there by the number 22, Willian, and he drops the ball back to Bassi. Bassi just taking his time right now. It's almost at a walking pace, really, for all of these players right now. It really has been a drain. So we've got a comment in the comments section. Media, radio, jingles and gaming says, good choice, Paul. Garnacho has played really well for United since he came on. And the ball is long into the Manchester United half of the field, as we are now played the 105 minutes. See if there's any discretionary time that the official is going to add on. And the Manchester United fans still looking worried. As Andre Onana, I get the feeling as soon as he clears this downfield, the referee is going to blow up. Andre Onana clears it downfield. The heads go up, and it's Anderson who wins the ball in the air. Play still carries on. And it's a throw-in. We're inside the 1 minute. It's actually approved of 1 minute added time at the end of this first period of extra time. Trying to win that ball back there is Harrison Reed, but trying to get the cross in is Garnacho. But Reed picks up the ball and clears it forward. It's poor control by Jimenez, and now Manchester United coming forward with, here's a real chance! A super save! And it just bounced off Casemiro through to Obi, who has another opportunity. Goodness me, he could have had a hat-trick today. This chance forced a real super save out of Bert Leno. He just lifts the ball there, does Chidozie Obi, and a super save by Bert Leno over the crossbar. Manchester United now have a corner with Bruno Fernandes. It's swung in and the shot is blocked. And here is Garnacho again. And Bruno Fernandes launched it long towards the back post to Joshua Zirkzee. Zirkzee picks up the ball, skips into the penalty area. Zirkzee, oh, it's a good block that time. Back to Garnacho. Raul Jimenez back defending. Into the box by Bruno Fernandes, but it's blocked, and that is half time of extra time. And well, no change in the scoreline, but Fulham dominated possession in that first period of extra time. And I'm just going to briefly hand you back to Ross. I need a drink of water.
Thank you very much there, Paul James. Excellent coverage on the first half of extra time. And where he's going so far, Paul, I think he could be the first one of our FA Cup coverage that we've had this one today. I think we could end up having the dreaded P word, and I think it could be a long evening, long night for both, and long afternoon for both me and you, Paul. Today with us, been on air since 1:40 this afternoon, bringing you coverage of the both FA Cup matches today. And in that first period of extra time, if you just look at Chidozie Obi, who's come on from Manchester United off of the bench tonight, like the youngster, he is for himself about, but he's looked lively in this game since he's come on, hasn't he, Paul?
Oh yeah, it's looked very lively. I've been very impressed with him. He's had chances. He might well have got a hat-trick, but his performances will be rewarded. Those sort of performances are what Manchester United need right now during this injury crisis.
Yes, absolutely, mate, absolutely. Nick has mentioned, I don't know what you think regarding this as well, and says this young man on about Obi as well will surely go places, Paul. Would you agree with that?
Well, I haven't seen a lot of him, but based on today's performance, he definitely has a future, doesn't he?
He does indeed, and yes, for those listeners who are wanting to stay the rest of this game and looking forward to watching and finding out if your team's got in the next round of the FA Cup, I can tell you the FA Cup quarter-final draw will follow the conclusion of this game. So once we have that draw, we'll be handing over to our man Nicholas Jones to bring you that draw. So once the draw, one of these games finished and the draw is about to be made, we'll be handing over to Nicholas Jones for the FA Cup quarter-final draw. We're about to get back underway very, very shortly for the second period of extra time. After those players have just been given some final instructions for extra time, will Manchester United or Fulham make it through to the quarter-finals? Let's find out in the company of your match commentator, Paul James.
Thank you, Ross. If it does go to penalties, it'll of course be their second penalty shootout for Manchester United in this FA Cup competition. They first won the third round victory over Arsenal on penalties. As the kick-off is underway for the second half of extra time. Andre Onana launches the ball downfield as Manchester United will perhaps maybe be looking for a chance for themselves to maybe steal it before extra time. It seems that Fulham are definitely the most determined for it not to go to penalties. As here is Sanderberg, he plays the ball forward. That's well brought down by Harrison Reed. And now then, here is Raul Jimenez, real chance, played across. Oh, he goes down there. It was played behind. Harrison Reed. And well, if that would have been pulled off correctly, then that would have been 2-1 to Fulham. Raul Jimenez, it would have been offside anyway. Emil Smith-Rowe was definitely in an offside position. But an opportunity there for Fulham as they tried to get the job done in 120 minutes. But it's cleared downfield by Andre Onana. Header won by Anderson. And now Casemiro plays the ball forward. And it's Joshua Zirkzee. He's got options left and right. Here's Garnacho. Cuts inside Garnacho. Gets the shot away, but it's over wide and not so handsome. But what a difference he has made since he has come on. In my opinion, Manchester United were heading out of the FA Cup until he came on. and he has been the difference maker. But a vastly huge save, of course, by Andre Onana has kept Manchester United in it as well. Ryan Sessegnon is about ready to bring himself on right now, and coming off is Alex Iwobi. So Ryan Sessegnon is coming on, and Alex Iwobi is gonna come off. It's been a really decent performance by Alex Iwobi today, and this is the last substitution. Sessegnon wearing number 30, of course. As goal kick taken quickly. Here is a long ball played forward by Anthony Robinson, won there by Willian as well. The ball is played forward to Sessegnon. Sessegnon's first touch is not the most productive one. He gives the ball away. Casemiro back heels it now to Fernandes, and United coming forward in numbers. Fernandes gets the ball out wide to Garnacho. Garnacho cuts inside. It's back to Casemiro, who's bundled over, is he? Surely he was bundled over. The referee says no. And now Fulham are on the break with Anthony Robinson. And the ball stays in place somehow. No free kick there either, because the ball was won there. And Manchester United can come forward, but it looked to me like Casemiro was fouled there, but no further action taken. Here's Xerxes now, lays the ball off for Obi. Obi gets back up on his feet, does very, very well, gives the ball to Casemiro. Cutting across there is Calvin Bassey, defending brilliantly. What a job he's done this evening for Fulham. Here's Anthony Robinson, lifts the ball forward. Brought down well by Yuri Jimenez. Now you tell me there, that's a free kick for Fulham. You tell me what the difference is between that and the one on Casemiro. But this one is given in the favour of Raul Jimenez, and a free kick. And the Manchester United fans on their feet. And Casemiro, well, we've got a player down, or we've got Joshua Xerxes on his knees. He's up now, but here goes Willian. Willian is looking to set Sessegnon on his way. Here's Ryan Sessegnon, the former Spurs player, cuts inside. Sessegnon with a shot. Another good save by Andre Onana. Oh, Andre Onana keeping Manchester United on parity here. Here's Willian. Willian back to Sessegnon. Ryan Sessegnon cuts inside, tries to beat two players. Wasn't quite successful. Aidan Heaven lays the ball off to Casemiro. Oh, it's a poor ball by Casemiro, gives it to Sander Berg. Here's Anthony Robinson. Fulham lining up in the penalty area. It's swung in, and it's headed away there by Aidan Heaven. And cleared away there by Bruno Fernandes. And there is Joshua Xerxes, and he puts the ball out of play. Stepping forward just a bit too soon there was Obi. But that was a crucial save once again by Andre Onana. Just cut inside here did Ryan Sessegnon. Space for the Frenchman, and it forced a really good save from Andre Onana. And Marco Silva can't believe it. And now here's Sessegnon again. Sessegnon cuts inside, gives it to Willian. It's back with Reed. Down this side to Castagna. And Sessegnon goes down, but there's nothing doing in there for the challenge from Aidan Heaven. And we have 10 minutes till we are looking at penalty kicks, which seems to happen a lot when I get commentaries. As Andre Onana is going to take the goal kick. And he is going to drill this downfield. The Fulham fans on their feet. It's a long drive back to London, but my goodness me, if they can go back with a place in the quarter-final draw, they'll be happy. Sessegnon knocks it on. Won by Dalot to Xerxes. Casemiro over the halfway line. Across there to Nusan Mazraoui. Mazraoui back to Casemiro with a shot, and it's wide. Well, you can see here, just cut inside there. Casemiro with a shot. And, well, got a comment in the comment section. Hi, Paul. Good game. Has been very enjoyable. Hi, Mike. Hope you're doing well, my friend. It's certainly been an interesting game, both for the fifth round ties. We've been fortunate enough to enjoy some fantastic football. And here's Aidan Heaven for Manchester United. Good ball by Casemiro across there to Victor Lindelof. It's back to Heaven. And now Casemiro. Lindelof. Crossover on the far side there. Long ball out to Alejandro Garnacho from Nusa Mazraoui. What a perfect ball that was. Here's Alejandro Garnacho trying to get the cross in. And, it's bouncing around that Fulham defence. And finally, it's being brought away now by Emile Smith-Rowe. He gives the ball to Willian. Willian cuts inside. Good ball by Willian. Out to Ryan Sessegnon. And now to Castagna. Castagna gets a cross in. And Aidan Heaven just puts the ball behind for a corner. Mike says he's secretly hoping Fulham nick it. Well, sometimes it's funny to listen to the angry Manchester United fans on YouTube, isn't it? But to be honest with you, I don't think they can be angry about anything tonight. Manchester United have worked very, very hard, given their limitations in squad size, given their injuries. It's been an effort by this Manchester United team. They've put in a shift tonight. Here's Willian with the corner. He's going to outswing this one. And it's flicked on. And finally, Obi is trying to clear the ball away. He's under pressure by Calvin Bassey. Obi holds the ball up well. And it's going to be a free kick. It's taken quickly. Still 1-1. We have 6 minutes to go in this game before we are heading to a penalty shootout. Media, radio, jingles and game. He says he thinks Fulham will win it in the end. Well, let's see. That remains to be seen. It's very much in the balance right now. Andre Onana is going to take this free kick. Yes, United versus Arsenal next week in the league, Mike. A game you can hear on the commentary hub. I'll be bringing that one next Sunday afternoon. Manchester United versus Arsenal. Should be a very interesting game, as those games usually are. Here's Calvin Bassey. Bassey holds the ball up. Played across to Anthony Robinson. Robinson infield to Sanderberg, and across over on the far side to Emile Smith-Rowe. Emile Smith-Rowe overlapping is Willian. Willian cuts into the penalty area, gets the cross in. It's cleared away by Diogo Dalla. Berg and Robinson and William both go for the same ball, and in the end Xerxes comes away with it. Joshua Xerxes now. Oh, that's a really good challenge there by Anthony Robinson. Fulham fighting for everything, but then so are Manchester United. Xerxes goes down under the challenge of Anthony Robinson. That's he's going to get a warning from Stuart Atwell here. Just ticking off. He's done rather well, Stuart Atwell. Media, radio, jingles and games says Manchester United have played well tonight, but if they lose the YouTube watch along, United fans will probably still get upset and angry. Well, I don't know whether, I would hope they'd be reasonable at least, because they've put in a shift today, and it is Bruno Fernandes that's going to take this free kick. We're inside the remaining 4 minutes. Fernandes launches the ball in the box. It's flicked on. And Obi trying to get through there, but it's cleared away by Harrison Reed. And Nusa Mazraoui gives the ball back there to Bruno Fernandes, looking for Victor Lindelof. It's pinging about there. And Matthijs de Ligt trying to get a hold of it. It's chested down by Sanderberg. It clears the ball as far as Emile Smith-Rowe. And now it's out to Willian. Willian breaking forward. It's a long ball over the top looking for Raul Jimenez, but that's a good piece of defensive work by Nusa Mazraoui. And now Manchester United come forward with Xerxes. Oh, he tried to step away, but it was well read by Anderson. And time is ticking down here as we look like we are heading to a penalty shootout unless one of these teams can get the winning goal. 3 minutes to go. And coming over the halfway line here is Anthony Robinson across to Willian. Willian holds up the ball, back to Robinson. And Willian again. Time ticking down here. Willian plays the ball long over the top and across there to Ryan Sessegnon. Drops the ball back to Castagna. And that's a good ball to Harrison Reed. Harrison Reed is going to swing this ball in. Oh, it's bouncing around there and Raul Jimenez has it. Sessegnon, can he turn? Oh, he's not able to. And now Manchester United can get on the break now with Garnacho. Garnacho, oh, he runs the ball out of play. That's good work by Sander Berg. Chasing the ball with him, and it goes out of play for a throw into Fulham. And Harrison Reed wins that one. And, well, Manchester United, what a performance by them in this second half and extra time. They have worked so hard. The first half performance wasn't their best, but in the second half, when Garnacho has come on and the work that this team has put into this game to get where they are right now. Here is Castagna, drops it back to Harrison Reed. Reed holds the ball up. Castagna. Reed again. It's a good ball by Sander Berg now coming forward. Sander Berg across to Willian. Willian out wide to Emil Smith, to Robinson. Robinson swings the ball in and it's cleared away. Anthony Robinson coming so close there. And Manchester United just give the ball away here. Calvin Bassey fighting for it, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United. To Fulham, as Raul Jimenez is fouled. Media, Radio, Jingles and Gaming says, and of course, just over a month ago, unfortunately, they knocked out Arsenal out to the FA Cup. So they did. Yes, Mike, the draw will come up right after this. It's being brought to you by Nicholas Jones. But the free kick is for Fulham right now, and it's going to be taken by Willian. I just wonder whether Willian may think about having a shot here. We'll see. And it's Willian, corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Willian tries a shot, and it's right down the throat of Andre Onana. We have played the full 120 minutes now, and we have got a minute of stoppage time as this game tick-tock to a penalty shootout. And the ball is played forward by Aidan Heaven to Garnacho. Garnacho, has he got one bit of magic left in him? Garnacho gets to the byline, crosses it in, and it's cleared away by Calvin Bassey. As Manchester United and Fulham, this is going to go to penalties as it stands. And let me tell you, this is anybody's game if it goes that far. Diogo Dalla is going to perhaps go for a long throw in here. He just holds the ball up, but I think the referee's not. Is he going to allow him to take this throw in? I think he is. It's a long one. Headed away as far as Harrison Reed. He gives the ball there to Willian. Maybe one last push for Fulham to try to win the game in extra time. It's a fine challenge by Casemiro. And that's it. We've got penalties. Well, kind of knew it was coming in a way after extra time finished. And that's what we've got. We've got penalties, and I am going to just hand you back over to Ross because I need the use of the washroom. Ross, over to you.
Thank you very much there to Paul James. Excellent coverage throughout that 120 minutes of extra time. Penalties will follow this game now, and what a game it has been at Old Trafford. Calvin Bassey opened the scoring for Fulham in first half stoppage time. 90 minutes left to play. Bruno Fernandes equalised. That is how he stayed for the rest of the 90 minutes, and that's how he stayed for the full 30 minutes in extra time. No breakthrough in extra time, but the king of the FA Cup and the king of Sundays, Paul James, will brought you the games. This game this afternoon, I brought you the first game between the match between Newcastle and Brighton earlier on this afternoon. One final game of the FA Cup weekend to come, with Nottingham Forest taking on Ipswich Town on Monday afternoon. As we just take a look at my monitor here of the opening goal of the game, and poor defending from Manchester United allowed Calvin Bassey in round the back to head home the equaliser. Well, dread Fulham into the lead, which was a fantastic header. No picked him up, but then you look at this equalising goal for Manchester United. Smith Rowe needs to get a bit tighter to Fernandes to stop him running into that space. But once he runs off him there, look at Sanderberg. Sanderberg is not looking at him. He now looks at him and he gets across to him far too late. He needs to be closing down that gap for the cutback so he could win it first time there, Sanderberg, in my opinion. And those two errors there for Fulham is what's cost them their place in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup in this game. It's anybody's game in the FA Cup. Who will come out on top in the penalty shootout? Will it be Manchester United? Will it be Fulham? We're just going through the last minute handshakes and tactical tweaks, and who's going to be taking which penalty kick and which end they'll be taking it from. Brilliant coverage from the FA Cup this weekend so far. Only one can win. In my reckons it'll be Manchester United will win the shootout. I'm got my fingers crossed to find out who will do it. I'm not going to say who I want to win because I'm going to remain neutral here on the channel. But if you know which team I support and which one of the teams I really hate does not support, or really hate out of the two teams in this match, then you'll know who I will want to win this game this afternoon. There'll be one just going through the coin toss right now. So without further ado, to tell you which end the person is going to be taken and who will take the first penalty kick as well, it's time for me to hand you back to your commentator, Paul James.
Thank you very much, Ross. Yes, the coin toss is being taken. United have their fans at both ends of the ground anyway, but who is going to take the first penalty, which is often in shootouts, is quite the advantage. United will win the shootout, says Mike Harneman. Well, they were very good in the shootout against Arsenal. Bert Leno, I have to say, he's not got a fantastic record saving penalties. Andre Onana has done very well. Perhaps it's his day today. We'll see. And Mike wants Fulham to win, but I guess he thinks that Manchester United will, as Stuart Atwell just prepares everybody. He will now have a word with the two goalkeepers, making sure that they understand their role and rules. Of course, VAR in effect today, so if the goalkeepers do step both feet off the line, then there could be potential consequences for that. And Onana and Bert Leno, wow, this is going to be a very, very intense shootout. We know how good Manchester United are. They are good at shootouts. It's going to be Bruno Fernandes that is going to be taking the first one, and he's holding the ball, and he's going to approach and he's going to go head to head with Bert Leno. Stuart Atwell also having a word with Bruno Fernandes, letting him know where he stands. And Bert Leno is just going for a walk, perhaps to just delay things a little bit. 1 or 2 mind games being played by the German international goalkeeper. Bert Leno puts himself now on the line. And Bruno Fernandes, well, it won't faze Fernandes. He's been there, done that. He steps up now, and he's ready to take this first penalty. Bruno Fernandes steps up, and he sends Leno the wrong way. He cracks it into the right-hand side, sending Bert Leno the wrong way. And Manchester United get first blood here at Old Trafford, and it is Bruno Fernandes. Stepping up for Fulham is Raul Jimenez. Raul Jimenez stepping up for Fulham. We know he's very capable in front of goal. Let's see what he can do. He steps up. He's taken a good long run up. Raul Jimenez steps up, stutters, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way and puts it in exactly the same position as Bruno Fernandes. Sends Andre Onana the wrong way and puts it in the right-hand corner. 2 really good penalties to start us off with here. And who is next up for United? Well, it is Diogo Dalot who is next up for Manchester United. And locking horns with Bert Leno. He's had a good game today as Diogo Dalot, worked hard, been very threatening down the left-hand side. Can he score here? Here comes Dalot. He sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, puts it in the left-hand side this time. Leno goes to the right. It's Manchester United with their second penalty scored. And you can see Dalot just sends Leno the wrong way. It's a good penalty, not perfect. It's not right in the corner, but it doesn't matter. It sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. And now stepping up for Fulham is the Norwegian Sander Berg. Well, he faces Andre Onana in front of the Stretford end. Sander Berg. A moment for him. He steps up. Oh, he drills it into the top corner. Oh, just for a moment I thought that had cleared the crossbar, but he smashes it into the top right corner. Onana nowhere near it, and even if there was another Onana next to him, he wouldn't have saved it. That was right in the top corner. A beautiful penalty by Sander Berg. And now Casemiro stepping up for the third penalty for Manchester United. Casemiro against Bert Leno. Came on as a substitute in the second half. Casemiro, he steps up, and there's another superb penalty, and likewise he smashes it into the top right corner, sending Bert Leno the wrong way. And that is the third penalty goal for Manchester United. Really good penalty, lots of power behind that. That is not being saved. And who is stepping up with the third penalty for Fulham in this FA Cup 5th round tie? It looks like it's Willian. Willian, countryman of Casemiro's. He steps up, a chance to tie things up. Willian just focuses for a moment, steps up. Willian sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and he puts it to Onana's left-hand side. Onana goes to the right. It's in the corner. It's a good penalty by Willian, and it's 3-3. And so far, each side has held their serve. And coming up now for Manchester United is Victor Lindelof. Oh, what a moment this is. A place in the quarter-final at stake. Their FA Cup at stake. Can Victor Lindelof score the fourth penalty here? Short run up by Lindelof. He steps in low. It's saved by Leno. It's saved by Leno. And, well, Victor Lindelof has missed the 4th penalty, and a real opportunity now for Fulham. Oh, the Manchester United players, the Manchester United fans look on. It was a good height for the goalkeeper, it has to be said. It was hit with lots of power, but a good save and a good height for the goalkeeper, really. And Victor Lindelof goes back, receives the condolences from his players, and stepping up now is Anthony Robinson. If he can score now, he'll put Fulham on the brink. Anthony Robinson steps up and sends Onana the wrong way, straight down the right-hand side. Onana goes down the left, and now Manchester United have to score. And who is the person stepping up for Manchester United? The one person I would not like to be in the shoes of right now. Let's see who's stepping up. It is Joshua Zirkzee, and he has the ball handed to him by Leno, who's chitter-chatting to him, trying to put him off. But if Zirkzee misses this, then we will have a new FA Cup champion. But let's see, Joshua Zirkzee, can he hold his nerve? Steps up to Zirkzee. Oh, it's saved by Leno! It's saved by Leno! Manchester United are out! Fulham are through! Oh, the save by Leno! Oh, my goodness me! And we are going to have a new FA Cup champion in 2025. Oh, my goodness me! Bert Leno makes 2 huge saves. The former Arsenal goalkeeper makes 2 huge saves, and Fulham celebrate. Manchester United are inconsolable. They still have the Europa League to go for, but realistically the FA Cup might have been their best chance. And oh, Joshua Zirkzee is unconsolable. And well, this is and it's very sporting of some of the Fulham players to go up and give him their condolences, but my goodness me, he looks inconsolable. Fulham are celebrating. Their name is going to be in the draw, and it is a 4-3 penalty victory. 2 saves by Bert Leno, misses from Lindelof and Joshua Zirkzee. Let's hand you back to Ross as we have a new FA Cup champion in 2025.
Thank you very much there, Paul James. Excellent coverage in this FA Cup 5th round tie. Manchester United bow out at the 5th round stage of the FA Cup. There is just 1 game left to play in the FA Cup, which will take place tomorrow night. But here and now, Manchester United go out, and as Paul rightly said, a new FA Cup winner this season, because Manchester United, the cup holders, have been knocked out of the FA Cup in the 5th round stage to Premier League opposition in Fulham in the FA Cup. We have got the FA Cup quarter-final draw on the way shortly for you, with our very own Nicholas Jones to bring you this afternoon, and we'll bring you that very, very shortly. Once the draw starts taking place, we'll hand over to Nicholas. We will bring you the FA Cup draw numbers on the screen very, very shortly, with the news with Manchester United being knocked out by Fulham. And I can just show you now on the screen, this is the draw numbers for the quarter-final draw of the FA Cup and when the quarter-final ties will take place. Nicholas will remind you of these just before the draw takes place, but let's have a look at some of the numbers that we've got coming up. Preston number 1, Villa number 2, Palace number 3, Fulham number 4, Brighton number 5. Both Fulham and Brighton won earlier today in our commentary games. Bournemouth number 6, Man City number 7, and Nottingham Forest number 8. All their opponents, Ipswich Town, will take place. That game takes place tomorrow evening. And while we're waiting for the FA Cup quarter-final to be done, with the 1 tie being left to play tomorrow, hopefully we'll be able to speak to a Nottingham Forest fan with us in a few minutes to get his thoughts out of that game tomorrow night. Just going to double check, see if he's okay to have a chat with us, and then if he is, we'll fetch him in for you this afternoon on this FA Cup coverage this afternoon. And we are delighted to bring in Nottingham Forest fan and a friend of the channel, Luke Turton, with us this afternoon. And Luke, very good early evening to you, my friend. How are you doing today, Luke? You doing okay?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks for us.
Good to hear, my friend. Luke, tomorrow night is Nottingham Forest in action in the FA Cup. They take on Ipswich Town. With the teams that are left in the competition, you must fancy your side's chances of potentially getting through to the semi-finals if that does happen briefly there, Luke.
Yeah, to be honest, it's anybody's at this point, to be honest. Like, there's no better chance for it to go through, to be honest.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll bring you back in a second, Luke, so we're going to get ready to hand over to Nicholas Fordjob, but we'll bring you back in after your thoughts ahead of the game tomorrow, your potential quarter-final opponents. We'll get ready to hand over then to your presenter for the FA Cup, which will be draw happening very, very shortly in the FA Cup in Nicholas Jones. He's standing by. And before we do that, Nicholas, how are you doing today, my friend? You doing good?
Good evening, Russ. Good evening, Russ. I'm looking forward to the draw, and I have to say, this is still one of the most open FA Cups that we have seen in many years.
Absolutely, Nicholas. Absolutely. Who would have thought that Manchester United would have been knocked out by Fulham this afternoon? Friend of the channel, Barry Swain, is very happy with the Fulham result. As we know, Nick is a big Fulham fan. He's our good friend Barry, but brilliant 2 penalty saves as well, weren't it, Nicholas, from Leno to knock Manchester United out this afternoon?
Yes, certainly. I think Leno is the hero of the hour as far as Fulham are concerned. So we've lost Arsenal, we've lost Manchester United, we've lost Newcastle United. Who will go next?
Who knows, Nicholas? Who knows? So with the FA Cup quarter-final draw just around the corner, let me hand you over to Nicholas Jones, who'll guide you through the FA Cup quarter-final draw.
Thanks, Russ. Good evening, everybody. And so here's a quick reminder of the numbers for the quarter-final. Number 1 is Preston North End. They're the only Championship side left in the competition, and number 2, Aston Villa. Before you get on with it, so the draw will be conducted by Dennis Irwin and I forgot the other guy's name now, but it'll come back to me. Danny Webber, I think he is. So number 1 is Preston. Danny Murphy, sorry. Used to know him as a pundit on Match of the Day, but that's another story. Anyway, number 3, Crystal Palace. Number 4, Fulham. The winners of our matches you've just heard from Russ and Paul. Then Brighton and Hove Albion at number 5. AFC Bournemouth at number 6. The only top side left in the competition, number 7, is Manchester City, and number 8, as already mentioned, taking place tomorrow evening, it will be Nottingham Forest or Ipswich Town. So both Dennis and Danny going through the last stages of preparation, and the balls will go into the bowl. And there's the confirmation. There's the confirmation. 8 Premier League sides left. Only one championship side left in the quarter-final draw. Could Preston be the first Championship side through to the semi-final in that many years? I believe the last club to do it was Reading some 10 years ago. Anyone knows many other Championship sides that made it through the quarterfinals and beyond? Then do please let me know. The balls have now just gone into the bowl, and Dennis gives them a quick swirl around. And the first ball out is number 4, Fulham. And who will they get at Craven Cottage? Number 3, Crystal Palace. So an all-London derby there. Fulham and Palace, the only London sides left. Then it's number 1, Preston North End. And Preston will get at Deepdale. Number 2, Aston Villa. So Preston against Villa. And the next ball out is number 6, AFC Bournemouth beat Wolverhampton Wanderers at home yesterday. And they are up against number 7, Manchester City beat Plymouth yesterday. So we're now down to the final 2 balls. Who will be drawn out first? And I can just make it out. It's number 5, Brighton and Hove Albion beat Newcastle United earlier today. And the last ball out, and I'm sure we know which one it is, number 8, Nottingham Forest or Ipswich Town. And those quarter-final matches will take place across the weekend of Saturday, the 29th of March, 2025. And you can see the matches displayed in full on the screen. And I have to say, I really can't call any of these matches. If those quarter-final matches are to be as good, are to be as exciting, then we are in for a bumper of a semi-final. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll hope. Thanks very much for listening. Back to you now, Russ.
Thank you very much there, Nicholas. Excellent coverage of the draw, as always, from our draw specialist there, Nicholas Jones. And we'll get the thoughts of Luke Turton in a moment on the draw for Nottingham Forest or Ipswich Town. But first of all, I'll come to our match commentator of our second game this afternoon, Paul James. And Paul, some good ties there in the FA Cup quarter-finals. What do you make? Which tie of those do you stand out for you from what you can see on our screen in front of us there?
Well, if Nottingham Forest win, I think Brighton and Nottingham Forest will be a good one. And I think Bournemouth versus Manchester City, with Bournemouth doing so well this season, might be a decent tie as well.
Yes, and like I think it was Michael mentioned it in the group in the chat here, he says it's a good chance for Preston to get into the semi-finals, with the draw being done at a Deepdale, with the game being a Deepdale against Aston Villa. There's a good chance of a big crowd for Preston and a good chance for them to get through as well, potentially.
Oh yeah, they have a chance, but this is it just depends at this point. Villa will be looking to pick up an FA Cup. I mean, let's be honest, it's been a long time, so you've got to look at that as well. They're not going to win the Champions League. Let's face it. So yeah, of course they'll be looking to fight for that. It's a quarter-final stage. Next stop, Wembley. So
yes, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. We're going to fetch in our friend of the channel and been on before. Mike says a London derby there too, which is a good one as well. Yes, absolutely, Mike. All very good ties. Let's bring in our good friend Luke Turton, Nottingham Forest fan. And Luke, we were speaking there, a good chance for Forest to get into the semi-finals with that draw there as well. You must be fancying your chances of potentially getting to the semi-finals should you overcome Ipswich Town tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that Brighton was probably on second on the list of ones that Forest fans would be looking to get, to be honest. Just avoided Bournemouth, Fulham and Man City were the ones kind of on my list, to be fair. So I'm really happy with the potential of Brighton if we beat Ipswich tomorrow.
Yeah, just touching on that game tomorrow, how do you think that Forest will shape up tomorrow? Do you think you'll have a good chance of beating Ipswich with the way Ipswich have been playing recently?
Well, we already know that Matt Sells and Taylor are 1 year going to start. Nuno said that in his press conference. The rest of the team, I think, will be a mixture of first team and rotated players together. But I think that we'll give it a good go. We've got a lot of improving to do. This month, the month of February was a little bit horrific for us. So, yeah, I would say we've got a decent chance of getting past Ipswich, but again, don't take it for granted because they'll make it a very hard game.
Yes, absolutely, Luke. Absolutely, Luke. And for you, out of those ties on the screen, which one really stands out for you in your opinion?
I'd have to say Fulham Palace because it's a local rival teams together. That was one that stood out for me when I was watching. So yeah.
Thank you very much there, Luke. Thanks for your input today as well. And just before we do go, Nicholas, I'm going to fetch you back in, our draw expert. And Nick, out of the ties there that you've described for us this afternoon, which of those ties stand out in your opinion to you, my friend?
I'd probably have to go for Bournemouth against Manchester City. Given as Luke said, they're doing really well in the Premier League, and they could well add to the they could well join the club of those who have knocked out high-ranking home sides. Given what Plymouth Argyle did to Liverpool in the third round, so I think Bournemouth could stand a chance of. Causing an upset, and it'll also be interesting to see how Preston do against Aston Villa, even though Villa are having a good season themselves in the Premier League. So I'd say those are the two ties to keep an eye on.
Thank you very much there, Nicholas. And for me, just before we do end, for me, the two ties, I'd say probably Preston against Aston Villa, especially with Preston being at home, the lowest ranked side left in the competition. Fulham, Crystal Palace as well, local derby. And also Bournemouth, Man City, standout ties, in my opinion, to me. But like Luke says, there's a good chance for Forest to get through should they get past Ipswich tomorrow and then take on Brighton in the next round. We'll announce our fixtures on our Twitter feed, a commentary line one for our next, who's covering what, once we've figured out which games are being covered on the tour. So make sure you stay tuned for that one this afternoon as well. And like Nick said, not just the lower ranked side left in the competition, but they're just the non-Premier League side left in the division there in the Championship, or Preston North End. So there it brings you to the end of our coverage in the FA Cup. Manchester United getting knocked out by Fulham this afternoon on penalties. Fulham win 4-0 penalties, as you can see on our screens there. But Nooks have got knocked out by Brighton earlier on today as well. So when the Owners get knocked out of the FA Cup, that's what we'll leave you with then. The Owners out of the FA Cup on penalties against Fulham after a brilliant match this afternoon. Thank you for tuning into our brilliant coverage this afternoon. Been on there for around about just over 5 hours right now. And myself, Russ Fennan, Paul James, Nicholas Jones, Luke Turton, and the rest of the voices you've heard this afternoon and this weekend on the FA Cup coverage. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon for more coverage from the commentary. Goodbye for now, and have a good rest of your Sunday, and have a good week ahead. Goodbye, guys.